India today has accessed the 1,599 pages long charge sheet that is on Brij Bhushan Charan Singh, who's the Wrestling Federation chief, who's a BJP member of parliament and is facing serious allegations of mental, physical and sexual harassment by young women wrestlers. But amid these allegations that are coming, is there a damning photo evidence of this alleged molestation? There are photographs that are being cited by some of the witnesses, by some of the wrestlers, that according to them, they are claiming show how he would unnecessarily make advances with them, stand close to them. Inappropriate touching was also witnessed and seen with these photographs. Now, these photographs have been submitted by the wrestlers as the evidence in a charge sheet, and that's how we are putting it out for you right now. Srishti Ojha is joining me for the latest on that. She'll be tracking the case because Brij Bhushan Charan Singh is set to appear before a Delhi court today. What are we expecting today, Srishti? Because with this picture evidence coming in, testimonies of wrestlers, 108 people who have been, who've recorded their statements, what does the day look like for the Wrestling Federation chief?
Well, yes, Pooja, quite a detailed charge sheet has been filed by the Delhi police. It was filed last month in the complaint that has been filed by 6 wrestlers alleging sexual harassment by Brij Bhushan Charan. It was after that the court cognizance of the charge sheet that summons were issued to both Brij Bhushan Charan and another co-chief Vinod Tomar. After that, as per the procedure, because summons were issued, he is to appear today before the court. And as far as the charge sheet is concerned, as we also reported earlier, the charge sheet has extensive details of the statements and the allegations that have been put forth by wrestlers against Brij Bhushan of alleged repeated sexual harassment by Bhushan. There are allegations of sexual harassment, stalking, inappropriate touching, molestation at different locations like hotels, dining areas, restaurants, international events, and even the WFI office. Brij Bhushan Charan, even as per his statement that he gave to the Delhi police, has however remained defiant in his statement. What has Brij Bhushan said in his defense to the Delhi police? This is something that India Today is reporting for the first time today. His main defense to all the allegations against him has been that all the areas where the alleged allegations are being made, all areas are covered by CCTV cameras. He's also saying that he never meets any female wrestlers alone. In fact, he never even stays in the same hotel where players stay when events are in India. And as far as events abroad are concerned, the room allotment or the hotel allotment is not something that the WFI decides. Remember, this is being said in response to allegations by wrestlers that Brij Bhushan allegedly used to call them to their hotel room and has molested them and has also asked for sexual favors. Brij Bhushan Charan has
right
also
now,
told Delhi police that he's always
as this case is with harassment allegations against, it will need solid evidence to put Brij Bhushan Charan Singh behind bars. And I'm not sure at this point, at these pictures, can it be used that evidence of molestation as we see him standing next to some of the women wrestlers? Is it incriminating enough to arrest Brij Bhushan Charan Singh? And that's one of the reasons that defiance is that he's leading with. So how are you looking at Brij Bhushan Charan Singh's defense as well in this case? Because the charge sheet is very scathing. It's 599 pages long, I correct myself, but it will eventually be about solid evidence to nail him, not just testimonies and allegations.
Well, yes, Pooja, as far as whether the evidence is enough to find Brij Bhushan guilty or have a case against him is something for the court to decide. But as we know, evidence has been submitted by the players. 108 statements were recorded of witnesses by the Delhi police, but only 15 have corroborated in favor of the wrestlers, is something that we know so far. As far as the arrest aspect is concerned, we know there were many debates when the wrestlers were protesting as to why Brij Bhushan Charan has not been arrested by the Delhi police, and his arrest at this point is not very likely because Delhi police has also addressed the arrest aspect in their charge sheet, where they've explained why. They've justified and they've explained why Brij Bhushan Charan was not arrested. Because Delhi police had said that Brij Bhushan complied with the directions and joined investigation, which is why they were charge sheeted for trial without arrest, is what the charge sheet says. They have said that he has complied with all the directions and conditions of the notice that were issued to him under 41 ACRPC, and he has joined the investigation. Delhi police has also cited Supreme Court verdicts to say then in cases of offences which are punishable only up to 7 years, accused are not to be arrested. So this is how they have explained the reason for not arresting Brij Bhushan Sharan. And if he has complied with the notices that were issued to him and the directions,
stay on with
then
me, Srishti, because we have more news coming in, and I want you on that breaking news as well about what's expected in the court today and what is mentioned in the charge sheet. This is a Mega India Today exclusive news break. This is the police charge sheet. These are chilling testimonies. Remember, some very shocking mentions are being made against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The wrestlers have claimed to recount the horror in this charge sheet. Wrestlers have said that they were molested, groped, harassed and threatened. The words that are very explicit in nature are shocking to say the least. The manner in which they have suggested not just harassment and the sort of molestation they faced, but also the intimidating nature to stay silent. That if they want a career, it will have to be done a certain way. Now, these are all, remember, testimonies, words that have come in from the wrestlers. But according to Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, this is just about words and nothing else. Srishti Oja is tracking all the latest on that. Srishti, tell us more about the testimonies of the women wrestlers and what should one make of this? Because this is about groping them, groping their private parts, trying to stand too close, inappropriate touching, even of minor-aged wrestlers, calling them into rooms, intimidating them. How can these testimonies stand against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh?
Well, yes, Pooja, the statements have been, detailed statements have been given by the wrestlers. Even in the FIR, when the FIR was filed, the wrestlers had made some like really strong allegations against Brij Bhushan. In the charge sheet and in their statements before the Delhi police have elaborated on those incidents and have explained how those incidents happened in detail. The Delhi police has also done extensive investigation by doing going on the site, recreating scenes, taking statements of around 108 witnesses, 15 out of whom have corroborated the statements of the wrestlers. Now, really serious allegations by the wrestlers, but again, as you said, whether or not the evidence or the witnesses' statements are enough to find him guilty or to have a strong case against him is something for the court to decide. But yes, the wrestlers, responding to wrestlers' statements, all Brij Bhushan Sharan has said in his statement is the same response again and again in response to allegations made by all 6 wrestlers, that he never goes to any place alone, he never meets the female wrestlers alone. His security, his coach, the coaches, the players, the other wrestlers are always accompanying him. He never calls any player in his office alone. So this is how he has refuted each and every allegation that has been made by the wrestlers in this particular case.
Srishti, please stay on with me, and we want to be big on this story that's coming in. Remember, he has to appear before the Delhi court. Was he unnecessarily holding hands of these young women wrestlers, some of them even below 18 years of age? Was there inappropriate touching? Was there groping of private parts? Was there intimidation and more? Amid all of these testimonies and allegations comes in Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh's defense. He says that this is absolutely not possible. I was never alone, never met female wrestlers alone. My security always accompanies me. Remember, he's also a BJP member of parliament. He's also a wrestling federation chief. So there is a certain security, as he claims, is around him that we've also seen often when he travels from one location to another. But he claims that because the security is always around me, how can that happen? Now look closely on the photograph on your screen. He's standing holding hands of a young woman wrestler, and these are one of the pictures that have been submitted as evidence to say that there was this unnecessary, inappropriate touching that was being done, and this was just a part of a lot of other kinds of harassment that the young women wrestlers faced. So this, could it be enough evidence to nail him, to be able to put him behind bars, or will he get away citing this is no evidence? These are all baseless allegations against him. For now, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh is also preparing a defense to say, I never meet female wrestlers alone. I'm always accompanied by my security. So how is that possible? And this also, and what I'm telling you is quoting from the charge sheet. So apart from the testimonies and the witnesses who've been recorded, 108 individuals recorded, wrestlers have been recorded as statements. Brij Bhushan Sharan's statement also has been recorded by the Delhi police. Nitin Srivastav is joining me now in this morning telecast. He closely tracks the sports fraternity, has been able to speak to Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh over the past few months as well. Nitin, what should one make of the defense of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh? Right now, it is he said who said, but it is also eventually about evidence, not just testimonies, that will be able to nail Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh.
Well, Pooja, the charge sheet which we have accessed, and the charge sheet is clearly saying that there are several instances where female wrestlers were actually harassed, and they have mentioned that what exactly they have gone through in last 10 to 12 years. But on the other hand, whenever you ask Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, he will clearly say that I have not done anything wrong. I am clean, and I will prove this in court. And that is what Brij Bhushan Saran is maintaining actually. And today he'll be appearing in front of court, and his defense is ready, because yesterday only when I asked him that what exactly that you're planning for, because there is a charge sheet which is saying a long tale about the harassment. There are 6 wrestlers who were maintaining the same stand that you harassed all the female wrestlers in the different locations, be it international tours, be it national tournaments, be it Olympic qualification, be it just a trial. There are several instances. That is what they are talking about, and police has mentioned all the statements in the charge sheet. And on the other hand, that you have maintained it very clear that I have not done anything wrong. So how exactly you are going to fight it against in the courts? He said, see, I believe in court, and my legal team is ready. I will see what can be done in the court, and I will abide by the court. Whatever court will say, I'll abide by.
All right, Nitin Srivastava will be tracking the latest on this big story. So our colleagues are tracking the legal fraternity. Srishti Ojha will be at the Delhi court where Brij Bhushan Saran Singh has to appear. Remember, what we are tracking today is not just about Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. It's also about the Wrestling Federation, and it's also about the wrestling sport. But above all, it is about the future of young girls who want to make it big in the sport of wrestling. And they should not feel disheartened by what's been happening. They need to be inspired. They need to know an example is set, and that justice prevails. I'm wrapping up this bulletin for now. Thank you so much for watching. Keep tracking and stay tuned to India Today Television. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
It's often said that a rhythm is the essence of nature. The sun rising and setting almost at the same time is a rhythm. Eating along with the rise of the sun and before the sun is down is the rhythm that our body can adapt to and does wonders for our health. Jain scriptures talk about eating before sundown. The sun cycle diet, when you eat when the sun is up and stop eating when the sun is down, is called the Circadian diet. So why is it a good diet to follow?
The circadian rhythm is a 24-hour internal body clock in humans. Your body functions best when it is in sync with the sun. And what I mean is, you start eating when the sun is up and stop eating when the sun is down. Your cortisol is highest in the early hours of the day, which gets your metabolism up and running. It's the best time for digestion. Whereas melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, does the exact opposite. It puts you to sleep. Let me take you through why when you eat is as important as what you eat.
The surges and dips in cortisol and melatonin correspond with sunrise and sunset. Cortisol rises in the earlier hours of the day, which gets the metabolism up and running. Whereas melatonin, which is the sleep hormone released as we move towards night, does the exact opposite. Food intake during circadian evening, when the melatonin is higher than cortisol in your body, disrupts this rhythm, thereby increasing fat content in your body as food will not be metabolized properly. As you move towards night, the tendency to store calories as fat is higher. During the day, cortisol is highest, stimulating metabolism. Food consumption at night also leads to insulin, which often leads to diabetes. So what are the rules of this diet? Eat early, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or at least 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Breakfast should be the heaviest meal and dinner the lightest. Divide the calories into 3 meals and 2 snacks. Each meal must contain healthy proteins, whole grains, lots of vegetables and adequate dairy. 2 to 3 fruits per day and a handful of nuts will ensure a diet that brings a lot of protection. Who can practice this diet? Health individuals of all age groups can practice the CR fasting. The best results are seen when the practice starts from a young age. Who shouldn't go on this diet? Pregnant women, those under medication, diabetics, and those who have undergone a surgery in the recent past must consult a dietitian before starting CR fasting. This diet also does wonders for your sleep pattern and mental health as it does to niggling unhealthy weight issues. One of the main deterrents to having a good sleep cycle is alcohol. Alcohol disrupts sleep. With Anaga Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today. Stevia, an artificial sweetener, is a plant derivative. Why is it being advised against? Is that the question on top of your mind? Well, that certainly is the question that many experts are asking.
Stevia, being derived from a plant, has generally been considered to be safer than the synthetic sweeteners. In fact, some studies show that stevia can help improve glucose tolerance. There are some studies which have shown that stevia can help lower blood sugar as well as blood pressure. So people who are consuming medications for diabetes or hypertension or are on diuretics must consult a professional or a doctor before consuming stevia, and they must also regularly monitor their levels.
It is to be noted that stevia falls in the category of sweeteners advised against by the World Body. But monk fruit extracts, which hardly is used in India, does not. Some experts say a blanket advisory was the need of the hour. Others do not agree.
Guideline has very clearly defined what is a non-sugar sweetener, and stevia is a part of it. So we cannot single out stevia. So there, as I said earlier, there are many non-sugar sweeteners. We very commonly used are aspartame and saccharin and now stevia, sucralose. All are part of the guideline. The evidence is studied for all of them. So stevia is equally harmful, I would say.
Some experts say some amount of confusion has been created with the new guidelines from the World Health Organization.
Stevia is a natural plant, right? It tastes like sugar but doesn't spike your glucose or insulin. So it's a safer alternative. As I said, it doesn't absorb in the body. It's secreted unchanged in the urine. So stevia doesn't really affect your body except that it gives you that taste of sugar that you need. But if we were to see stevia versus sugar, stevia will always win.
While some concerns around aspartame and other artificial sweeteners are justified, nutritionists worry it might mislead. Minimizing sugar intake and not using added sugars, getting processed foods out of the house, and not putting it in your body but into the bin is what is really needed. In New Delhi with Sneha Mordani, Bureau Report, India Today.
Extra safe Polycab Green Wire.
Good morning and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of this hour. 26 parties, one Modi Hatao mission. Mega opposition huddle 2.0 today. BJP calls it a coalition of the corrupt. NDA counter-strike on united opposition. BJP and 38 allies to meet today. Prime Minister Modi to attend big mega NDA meet. WFI chief to appear in Delhi court today. Testimonies of wrestlers reveal harassment horror. Picture proof against Brij Bhushan revealed. Tamil Nadu Mantri Ponmuni grilled for over 8 hours at Chennai Enforcement Directorate office. Summoned again for grilling today at 4 p.m. Four terrorists gunned down in an encounter in a joint operation by the Indian Army and Jammu and Kashmir Corps in Poonch. Congress veteran and former Chief Minister of Kerala, Oommen Chandy, passes away, was undergoing treatment in Bengaluru since the last few months. News coming in right now. BJP alleges chinks in Bengal Congress amid opposition huddle. Says Bengal Congress is unhappy with the top brass. The BJP says huddle amid killings of Congress netas in Bengal. The BJP has said that disdain for regional sentiments in the Congress. More Congress ghatao than BJP hatao is what the BJP claims this is all about. Rahul Srivastav, our National Affairs editor, is joining us live this morning. Rahul, good morning to you. So the BJP is alleging that the Bengal Congress unit is not very happy with the top brass because of the hobnobbing that the top brass seems to be doing with Mamata Banerjee on the national stage.
Good morning, Paulami. Paulami, the BJP statements are absolutely on the expected lines, because if the opposition is trying to come together and if that does happen, definitely it's a sense of worry for the BJP. So the easiest ploy for the BJP is to attack the contradictions within the alliance partners who are gathered here in Bengaluru as far as the meeting is concerned. The lineup for the meeting has amazing amount of contradictions. You've got Mamata Banerjee, who has done virtually everything to decimate the Congress and the CPM and the left parties in West Bengal. The Congress and the left, which are allies in Bengal and Tripura, but contest against each other in Kerala. You have got National Conference and the PDP, and you have talks about a large coalition, strategic partnerships, but there is no Mayawati, there is no BRS, there is no YSRCP, so there are contradictions. But if you see what happened yesterday at the dinner hosted by the Congress party, one found that there was a certain degree of thawing. Why I say that? Because for Mamata Banerjee, who was very averse to initially come to a Congress-ruled state for a joint opposition meeting, and that's why she chose Patna initially, has come to Bangalore, ruled by the Congress party. Second, yesterday at the meeting, Sonia Gandhi's presence brought dividend to the opposition, because Mamata Banerjee was supposed to stay for a very short while as far as the dinner is concerned. She sat for a very long time at the same table as Sonia Gandhi. They have come to face for a long time, talking to each other for almost a gap of 2 years. So that is a positive. But on the other hand, as you say and as Shehzad says, Sitaram Yechuri and the left parties are very clear that they do not want to have any direct affiliations with the Trinamool Congress, given the fact that they are rivals in West Bengal. And that is why I have been saying that while everybody is talking about a common minimum program and the likelihood as far as this meeting is concerned, at least in form of a subcommittee being created to look into that, the idea is being virtually ruled out. The idea is being ruled out. What is being said, that instead of a common minimum program, there could well be a common issues to be raised against the government by all the political partners as far as this coalition is concerned.
Right.
And that could well be the one incremental step forward compared to Patna.
Okay, Rahul, just stay on with us. Shehzad Poonawalla of the Bharatiya Janata Party is over the phone line with us right now. Shehzad, you're saying that the top brass of the Congress doesn't have the support of the Bengal unit because of how the top brass seems to be hobnobbing with Mamata Banerjee in Bengaluru. But clearly there seems to be some thawing of relations, as Rahul Srivastava, our colleague, was just telling us, because Mamata Banerjee, who wasn't supposed to spend a lot of time at the dinner hosted by the Congress yesterday, she did because of Sonia Gandhi's presence.
It is evidently clear that the Congress party has sheer disregard for what its Karyakartas think, be it in Punjab, Delhi or West Bengal. A leader of the Congress, Soumen Roy Chaudhary, a senior leader, has come out and openly said that how can you have dinner with the murderers of 52 people, including workers of the Congress party, while you say that Trinamool Congress has been responsible for the death of democracy in West Bengal. You're saving democracy in Bengaluru with the same people, and this is something that even Azir Ranjan Chaudhary has said. In Punjab and Delhi polemy, these Congress leaders have started coming to me and crying, and they are saying to me that how do we now show our faces to people we used to call Manish Sisodia corrupt. We used to raise the Sheesh Mahal issue. In the Delhi floods, Kejriwal is solely responsible. And today our party wants us to now start joining the bandwagon of Aam Aadmi Party. So this kind of embarrassing situation for the Congress workers has been presented because Rahul Gandhi has to be kept relevant. So the first family doesn't care about their regional leaders. They've never done so. And this is the predicament where the Congress leaders on the ground in various states are feeling that in the name of this Katbandhan, because it's all about cutting the Congress to size. Imagine a party which has taken off everything from you in Punjab and Delhi. You are bowing down to them on the ordinance issue. A party that is killing you daily in West Bengal, you are bowing down to them. A party you said is Mundu Modi in Kerala because they arrested Sudhakaran. You are bowing down to them. So this is not about Modi hatao. This is about Congress ko ghatao. Everywhere the Congress ko ghatane ka plan, ये regional parties ने बनाया है, and the Congress is willingly accepting it simply because they have to keep Rahul Gandhi relevant.
Shehzad Poonawalla, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. Also, thank you to my colleague Rahul Srivastava for joining us from Bengaluru. In fact, Bengaluru is all decked up for the final day of the second opposition meet. Top brass of the Congress party, Mallikarjun Kharge, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, will in fact participate in this meeting. They'll be convening this meeting. Bigwigs of 26 opposition parties, including Mamata Banerjee, M.K. Stalin, Arvind Kejriwal, Nitish Kumar, Sharad Pawar and others, would deliberate strategies to take on the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party in the 2024 Lok Sabha battle. The second opposition meet comes about 3 weeks after the first meeting that took place in Patna, Bihar on June 23rd. Pledging for unity, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge said that like-minded opposition parties will closely work together with the aim to foster social justice agendas in the country. Taking a dig at the BJP, Congress Chief went on to say that the united opposition wants to create an India which is governed by the Constitution and gives hope to the weak.
You had chief ministers, you had former ministers, you had chiefs of various parties come together and talk freely. This is not happening under pressure. This is not happening due to fear of agencies. This is not happening because the mighty Modi government is going to crack down on it. This is happening because people genuinely believe that we need to save the country from fascism. We need to protect the constitution of this country. And that's what this is about.
एक चीज़ बहुत साफ देख रहे हैं, ये 24 के चुनावी चूल्हे पे जो ख्याली खिचड़ी है वो खानदानी खुरचन बन के साबित होगी. और उससे भी ज़्यादा है कि ये लोग ये भी जानते हैं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की ज़मीन ज़रूर बंजर है, लेकिन उसके हाथ में अभी भी बेवफाई का खंजर है.
They have catch hold of all those victims of ED and they have shown them as the leaders. That makes no difference. Here the people have their own individual personal stature and the stature in the country and the state. Those leaders have come together and they are going to teach a lesson to Bharatiya Janata Party and their NDA alliance.
कि 24 के लिए कोई वैकेंसी नहीं है और मैंने एक सवाल पटना में उठाया था, ये 24 की बारात जो सज रही है इसका दूल्हा कौन है? अभी तक कोई जवाब नहीं। कहा कि हम दूल्हा चुनेंगे, तो बिना दूल्हे के बारात जा रही है।
Today, of course, is a mega battle of coalitions because while the opposition is to meet in Bengaluru for day 2 of their second meeting since the one in Patna, also the NDA will be holding its meeting the first time in Modi Sarkar 2.0 today in Delhi, where the NDA claims, the BJP claims that 38 parties will be participating. As far as the opposition is concerned, 26 parties are in fact participating. Yesterday there was a dinner which was hosted by the Congress party in Bengaluru in honor of all the top leaders of these 26 parties who had arrived in Bengaluru, and today they'll sit down and strategize for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections as to how they want to in fact arrive at some sort of a possible seat sharing arrangement which would then become easy for them to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party. They want to pitch, if plausible, one strong candidate in each constituency where the BJP is to be challenged. Meanwhile, the BJP, of course, will be holding the NDA meeting, chairing that NDA meeting in Delhi this evening, which will be convened by BJP President JP Nadda, but the Prime Minister is also expected to be at that meeting. New allies, including the Shiv Sena faction of Eknath Shinde, will be present in that meeting. As far as the NCP is concerned, the faction led by Ajit Pawar will be present in that meeting as well, which includes Praful Patel and the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar. Eknath Shinde, of course, will be at that meeting as well. So the BJP, of course, flexing its own muscles as well. Rahul Srivastava is joining us now from Bengaluru. Rahul, so it is the battle of alliances today, if you may, because on the one hand in Bengaluru, 26 opposition parties will be in a huddle in order to strategize for the Lok Sabha elections. The BJP, of course, saying in Delhi, the NDA is not dead.
Yes, Paulami, it's very clear that eventually, I think we are basically back to what we were in sometime between 2018 and 2019, when critical alliances were reshaped. If you recall that somebody like Mr. Nitish Kumar, who was part of the Mahagathbandhan, had come with the BJP. And players like the Nitish Kumar did very well, Shiv Sena in Maharashtra did very well because they were part of the NDA. And eventually the BJP could post a very high tally even compared to 2014. And that is what this time the effort is. With the BJP had already lost somebody like a JDU and the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, there have been splits. So the BJP has tried to counter those setbacks through these maneuvers. Now, eventually, if the BJP is now positioning itself, one in terms of to create those tactical alliances on the ground, but also to signal future allies that BJP is not a bad player when it comes to the coalition dharma, because it has lost players like the TDP and the Akali Dal and others. It is trying to bring them back into the fold. I'm in Bangalore and we have spoken close to several people who are in proximity to somebody like Mr. S.G. Kumaraswamy, the JDS leader. And the indication is that he may not be coming for the meeting of the NDA, might not put up a open display. But the word is that there are still some months to go for the elections and he does not want to lay the cards out on the table. And that is why somebody like Kumaraswamy may wait and watch. So it is going to be these two coalitions, with this one looking very difficult right now, definitely. Because remember that this coalition right now is trying to get the arithmetic right, which is difficult. Whereas Narendra Modi and the NDA don't only have the arithmetic which worked, but also the chemistry.
Okay. Rahul Srivastava, thank you so much for joining us with your perspective on the battle of alliances that we're going to witness today. Shortly, of course, in Bengaluru, that opposition meeting is to begin. My colleague Pooja Shali elaborates on the cracks in the opposition, though.
Let's get you the details about who is conspicuous by absence at the opposition meeting in Bengaluru. Starting with BRS's KCR, remember at a time when elections are expected in the states, he is not going to be a part of the opposition meetings. But it's not just him. Also, Bahujan Samaj Party's Mayawati, former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, once a strong ally of the opposition, but not there right now in Bengaluru. Also, BJD's Naveen Patnaik, Odisha's Chief Minister, keeping a safe distance from both the opposition and also the Modi government, but at a time like this, not in Bengaluru. JDS has a big question. H.D. Kumaraswamy is not just not attending the meeting, but is targeting the Congress party over deploying IAS officers to receive political leaders. So these are some of the netas, including YSRCP, who's not attending the meeting. Again, YSRCP, remember, bracing for elections both in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So this puts a lot of focus on whether there could be more obscurity about who could be with the NDA, who could be with a united opposition. Interestingly, AIMIM's Asaduddin Owaisi is also not a part of this opposition meeting 2.0 huddle in Bengaluru, and that a month after it had taken place in the city of Patna. So, of course, there will be a lot of questions of the reasons that they're not attending, but what next ahead of 2024?
News coming in right now. Rahul Gandhi appeal seeking stay on conviction and sentencing before the Chief Justice of India's bench today. The Congress's legal team will be seeking urgent hearings. So that is what's expected. The plea on behalf of Rahul Gandhi seeking a stay on his conviction in the defamation case, and the sentencing that was handed out to him will in fact be before the Chief Justice of India's bench today. It will be mentioned before the Chief Justice of India's bench today, and the Congress will seek urgent hearing. Remember, the SC stay on conviction can bring Rahul back as a member of Parliament. Anisha Mathur, my colleague, is joining me over the phone line right now. Anisha, if you can give us more details about what is the Congress legal team's strategy going to be?
They're going to be asking for an urgent hearing in this matter. Remember, this petition was filed on Saturday by Rahul Gandhi against the Gujarat High Court's order, which has declined to give him any relief at this stage. Now, with the monsoon session approaching and the fact that more than 100 days have passed since his conviction and sentencing by the district court, Rahul Gandhi wants an urgent hearing in the matter, because what he is saying is that if this matter is not heard urgently, then the Election Commission may also be forced to conduct the bypolls in Wayanad. He has said that the High Court has made certain legal errors in the verdict that have been given. He said that there was no intention to defame, that Modi as a group, as a caste, is an amorphous group, that it cannot be clearly defined, and therefore you cannot have defamation of an entire community in the way that the High Court has said. More importantly, in what he said is that there is a case that irreparable injury will be caused to him and his constituency, his voters, if he's not given relief, and the High Court has acted on extraneous considerations, and this is going to be a very, very important argument before the Supreme Court as well, that because the High Court in its verdict has noted that there were other complaints against Rahul Gandhi, particularly with regard to the Savarkar jibe, that is where the fact that the High Court has noted that he had taken the name of the Prime Minister to add sensation and to affect the result of the election, where he was campaigning. All of these issues should never have been taken by the High Court when it is considering this issue of defamation. Those are the legal arguments that Rahul Gandhi's team will be raising. But for now, at 10:30, Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singh will be seeking an urgent hearing on this matter, on the grounds that there is a monsoon session coming up, that there is a possibility of the Wayanad bypolls being announced by the Election Commission, and therefore there has to be an urgent hearing in the matter so that Rahul Gandhi can be given relief.
Right, so it's clear from the plea, Anisha, that you're telling us the details of which you're mentioning at the moment, that Rahul Gandhi believes that he's running short of time at the moment, especially because the Election Commission, he believes, could be compelled to announce bypolls for Wayanad.
They're very clearly calling. Now remember, the law clearly says that a Lok Sabha seat cannot remain vacant for more than 6 months. Now, since his conviction and sentencing was in March, and we're already in July, there is a short period of time which the Election Commission also has to announce the by-polls, hold the elections, etc. So, at this stage, Rahul Gandhi is also looking at the matter as a question of weeks and not months. Because if the hearing is not conducted expeditiously, because when a hearing comes up now, whenever it is that the Supreme Court decides to take up the matter, they will also have to give time to Purnesh Modi to respond to the matter, because he's already filed a caveat in the Supreme Court. The hearing itself will take a few days, then there will be time for the judgment. And therefore, Rahul Gandhi will be hoping for an urgent hearing. Back to you.
Right. Anisha, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. We're slipping into a very short break. Coming up next, NDA counter-strike on united opposition. 38 NDA parties to meet today in Delhi.
Standing on the ring road, you can see there's only water, water and water everywhere.
What could have been done to provide proper facilities to the people who have been affected by the Yamuna flood?
How long will it take for normalcy to return to Delhi?
The national capital now finding itself virtually submerged in water.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting, in the water reporting, only on India Today TV.
Gaming. That is what took the center stage at the launch of the new iQOO Neo 7 Pro 5G smartphone. Let's deep dive into this gaming smartphone and see what's in store for the gamers. First things first, it is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor from last year. Now, it may be last year's chip, but it benchmarked really well on all the phones. Now, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro 5G also has an independent gaming chip, which in conjunction with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 is amazing for the gaming capabilities. With this powerful combination, I tried 3 games: Genshin Impact, New State, as well as Asphalt 9. Now, all 3 games played pretty well. There were a few drop rates in Genshin Impact, but that's a pretty heavy game. So let's see how these games look on this device. With this powerful combination, I managed to achieve a consistent 90 frames per second on the new PUBG game at ultra graphics setting. Although the coveted 120 frames per second mark remained elusive, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro's cooling system played its part in maintaining stable thermals during extended gaming session. And here you can see Asphalt 9 racing game running without any hiccups. Also present is a dual speaker setup, which immerses you in any game or media consumption. And the 120Hz refresh rate keeps everything super snappy. Battery life, that's the next question that comes to mind when playing these heavy intensive games. And this phone comes with 5000 mAh battery, but it's the charging speed that might blow your socks off. Now I'll just take a quick coffee break, and until then my phone is charging with the 120-watt charger that will charge my phone 50% in just 8 minutes. Let's see what happens. Now that I'm done with my coffee break, my phone is all charged up thanks to the 120-watt fast charger. Serious gaming enthusiasts in the same price range can look out for the Xbox Series S, which is a dedicated gaming console. Hence, you would have a great pro gaming experience. Similarly, in smartphones, the Realme GT2 Pro and OnePlus 11R could be an alternative in the same price range. Wrapping it up, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro is for all you gaming enthusiasts who are looking for a gaming phone but do not want to break the bank. This phone comes in at sub 40,000 rupees. Stay tuned to Tech Today for more such technology updates.
has had a breakthrough with skinny pens. The Ozempic shots meant for the treatment of type 2 diabetes is being used off-label to reduce weight. These shots are hard to obtain but have the ability to help you shed those pounds. The drug was never meant to be used for that purpose in the first place. It gives myriad of side effects to those taking it for weight loss. They include diarrhea, constipation, tummy aches, nausea, vomiting, amongst many others. Many already know this. Now, a pill form of Ozempic is on the horizon. On 25th of June, researchers presented data in 2 studies at the American Diabetes Association Scientific Sessions Conference. One study showed 50 milligrams of semaglutide, the active compound in Ozempic and Wegovy, taken orally each day is roughly as effective as weekly Wegovy shots in reducing weight in people who are overweight or obese. Wegovy injections contain 2.4 milligrams of semaglutide. Wegovy has been approved to treat obesity since 2021. It's the same drug as diabetes medication Ozempic, just at a higher dose. Concerns now loom large on its unintended consequences as more people would seem to prefer pills over the injections for weight loss.
What is important to know is that semaglutide is a good option for people, who have diabetes, who have obesity, or who are overweight and need to lose weight. But it is not a good option for everyone, and it is important that whoever takes this pill, they take it under medical supervision, and then, decide whether they meet the criteria or not.
We have to practice ethical medicine for it to be beneficial for everybody, and keeping in mind the risks and the benefits. So I do think it's a new kid on the block. I do think it'll be successful in the future. We just need some more information for it.
The injectable liquid form of semaglutide is directly shot into the belly with very small needle dispatch at the click of a pen once a week. One can take it with or without food. Oral semaglutide is supposed to be swallowed and not injected. Patients must have an empty stomach when they take it along with water. Doctors are extremely worried. Having a poppable pill available for weight loss could perhaps lead to an abuse of the drug.
This is a drug that at times can increase the risk of thyroid C-cell cancer. It can increase the risk of pancreatitis or inflammation of the pancreas. It can increase the risk of kidney problems. So it's not an option for everyone. It can increase the risk of causing hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, since it is a diabetes drug.
News coming in right now. Sharad Pawar reaches Bengaluru. Pawar Senior arrives for the key opposition huddle. Karnataka Mantri MB Patil welcomes Pawar Senior. He missed the opposition dinner last evening. Sharad Pawar there in your pictures, being received at Karnataka Airport in Bengaluru by Minister in the government, MB Patil. He's arrived for that key opposition huddle, which is to begin very shortly. He skipped the dinner last evening where all the opposition parties were present. Sharad Pawar, of course, has communicated even to the Ajit Pawar faction that he stays with the opposition. He stays with the Maha Vikas Aghadi in Maharashtra. He, of course, since that last meeting in Patna on June 23rd, suffered a huge jolt when his nephew Ajit Pawar led away a faction of the party to join the ruling BJP Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena alliance in the Maharashtra government. Since then, it's been an uphill task for Sharad Pawar to try and rebuild the NCP. He, of course, is one of the senior-most leaders of the opposition that is meeting today in Bengaluru.
So if you go to pay respects, then we have to go there and there, whatever you suggest. Meeting is at 11, sir.
Okay, so there of course Sharad Pawar inquiring about the schedule from MB Patil. He is headed of course to that meeting venue at 11 a.m. That meeting of the opposition parties begins. 26 opposition parties have come together in order to take on the ruling BJP in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Today of course it's going to be extremely interesting because while the opposition of course a big chunk of the opposition, not all opposition parties, but a big chunk of the opposition, 26 parties meet in Bengaluru. The NDA will also meet in Delhi today. 38 parties, claims the Bharatiya Janata Party. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is joining us from Bengaluru. Nagarjun, we are seeing those pictures of Sharad Pawar there arriving in Bengaluru. There was, of course, a lot of speculation after Mr. Pawar skipped that dinner, but he firmly stands with the anti-BJP bloc.
Polami, good morning. In fact, Congress sources had confirmed to us that Sharad Pawar had communicated that he will be skipping the dinner hosted by Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaiah, but will attend the official meeting which begins at 11 a.m. today. In just an hour or so now, half an hour or so, the official meeting of opposition parties consisting of 24 to 25 parties will begin here in Taj Westin. Sharad Pawar has landed just a moment while he's reached the hotel here in Bengaluru, and he'll be taking part. He'll also be a part of a lunch hosted by the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar today. So even though he missed the dinner, he'll be a part of the lunch program where all the opposition party members once again will sit together for lunch, and the deliberations will begin from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. is what we are told. 4 p.m. is when they will have a press conference, and all the 23 netas will address the press as to what exactly happened in today's meeting. And this is the second such meeting. Names are also being discussed as to, if not for UPA, what do we call this alliance? There are certain ideas that is coming up, and also deliberation on common minimum program. How do we go about it closer to elections? Which seats do we fight, and what is the agenda? All this are likely to be discussed at 11 a.m. today.
Okay, so it's likely to be discussed at 11 a.m. today, but as far as the common minimum program is concerned that you referred to, Nagarjun, it's going to be extremely difficult because while these oppositions have one thing in common, that they want to take the BJP head on, there are several ideological differences, some of them that they're struggling to iron out. For instance, the Congress, of course, extending its support to the Aam Aadmi Party as far as the Delhi Services Ordinance is concerned. But when it comes to West Bengal, for instance, Mamata Banerjee left parties, Congress that's going to be extremely difficult. Nagarjun, we'll be back with you. Of course, that meeting is to begin at about 11 a.m. this morning. Congress veteran and former Chief Minister of Kerala, Oommen Chandy, passed away this morning. He was 79. He was under treatment in Bengaluru since the last few months. His son informed about the demise through a social media post. Oommen Chandy served as the Chief Minister of Kerala during the period 2004-2006 and 2011 to 2016. The Kerala government has declared 2 days of official mourning, and today will be a public holiday in the state. Oommen Chandy, of course, was one of the tallest leaders to have emerged from the state of Kerala. He served as Chief Minister of the state of Kerala during the period 2004-2006 and 2011 to 2016. Extremely active in politics, but over the last few months he was ailing. He was under treatment in Bengaluru, and this morning his son announced through social media that unfortunately the leader has passed away. Condolences are pouring in from all political quarters, not just from the Congress party. The Prime Minister also has in fact condoled the passing away of the former Chief Minister of Kerala, who was the tallest face as far as the Congress and Kerala politics is concerned. Those images, as you can see, of people arriving at Bengaluru to pay their last respects to the departed leader. The Kerala government has now announced 2 days of official mourning in the state. Today will also be a public holiday in the state. The news only came in this morning that Oommen Chandy, former Chief Minister of the state of Kerala, has passed away. In fact, the Prime Minister also tweeted about the same, and he said, and I quote, "In the passing away of Shri Oommen Chandy ji, we have lost a humble and dedicated leader who devoted his life."
चाचा पशुपति कुमार पारस का क्या होगा, कैसे चुनाव लड़ेंगे बिहार में, एनडीए मिलकर कैसे आगे बढ़ेगा, इन्हीं तमाम मुद्दों पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं खुद चिराग पासवान। चिराग पासवान जी, आज तक में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
थैंक यू भाई।
आखिर एनडीए में आ गए आप, किन शर्तों पे आए, क्या बातचीत हुई है, किस ढंग से चुनाव लड़ा जाएगा, कितनी सीटों पे चुनाव लड़ेंगे, क्या कैबिनेट में मंत्री के तौर पे वापस होगी आप?
शर्तें नहीं थी आने की, बट हाँ कुछ चिंताएं जरूर थी हम लोग की। देखिए, हम लोग की एक छोटी पार्टी है एंड मेनली सेंट्रिक इन बिहार, जिसको हम लोग जरूर एक्सपेंड करना चाहते हैं। अभी नागालैंड में हम लोग के 2 विधायक हैं और विभिन्न और राज्यों में चुनाव हम लोग लड़ते रहे हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश में एक समय में हम लोग की अच्छी उपस्थिति वहाँ की विधानसभा में थी। तो एक्सपेंशन हर पार्टी चाहती है, हर पार्टी अपने दायरे को बढ़ाना चाहती है। तो ये हमारे कुछ कंसर्न्स जरूर थे जो मैंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व के साथ मैंने साझा किए। गठबंधन करना एक बड़ा फैसला है और भाई मैं जिस सोच से आता हूँ, मैं मेरे मुख्यमंत्री की तरह हर दूसरे तीसरे साल में गठबंधन नहीं बदल सकता। हम लोग जिनके साथ रहे हैं, लंबे समय तक रहे हैं, स्थायी रूप में रहे हैं, और अगर उनसे अलग भी हुए हैं, जैसे 2020 में मैं अलग हुआ, पर मैं किसी और गठबंधन का मैं हिस्सा नहीं बना। एनडीए के साथ हम लोग थे, 2020 विधानसभा का चुनाव मैंने अकेले लड़ा, पर उसके बाद भी मैं किसी और गठबंधन में मैं नहीं गया। तो डेफिनेटली कमिंग बैक इन दिस अलायंस, एनडीए के साथ वापस आते वक्त ये चिंता जरूर थी कि आने वाले लोकसभा के चुनाव हैं, विधानसभा के चुनाव हैं, तो इनको लेकर जितनी मेरी चिंताएं थी, जितने मेरे कंसर्न्स थे, वो जरूर मैंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व के समक्ष रखे। मुझे खुशी है कि मेरी तमाम चिंताओं को सम्मान दिया गया और आज ये फैसला उसी के आधार पर लिया गया।
क्या चिंताएं थी आपकी?
जैसा मैंने कहा, लोकसभा है, लोकसभा की सीटें हों या विधानसभा की हों, कई ऐसे विषय थे जिनको लेकर मैं चाहता था कि एक सेंस ऑफ क्लैरिटी पहले हो जाए, ताकि बाद में चल के किसी तरीके का कोई मतभेद नहीं हो, क्योंकि अब चुनाव बहुत ज्यादा दूर रहे नहीं है, चुनावी वर्ष में हम लोग ऑलरेडी आ गए हैं। तो इन तमाम बातों को लेकर चर्चा।
कितनी सीटों पे लड़ेंगे लोकसभा में? पिछली बार 6 सीटों पे लड़े थे 2019 में, जिनमें से 5 चले गए, 1 आप अकेले बचे हैं। तो इस बार कितनी सीटों पे आप लड़ेंगे लोकसभा में?
भाई, मैं गठबंधन धर्म की मर्यादा को तोड़ूंगा अगर गठबंधन के भीतर की बातों को इस तरीके से मैं सार्वजनिक करूं। मुझे लगता है जो चर्चा मेरी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व के बीच हुई है वो हमारे बीच की बातचीत है। सही समय आने पर जरूर उसको भी साझा किया जाएगा, बट मुझे नहीं लगता कि अभी इसका खुलासा करना उचित होगा।
मंत्री बनेंगे केंद्र में?
भाई देखिए, जब गठबंधन होता है वो मंत्री बनने के लिए तो नहीं होता, कम से कम। खासतौर पर मैं जिस परिवार से आता हूं, मेरे लिए मंत्री बनना या मंत्री पद वो मायने नहीं रखता। मैंने अपने नेता, अपने पिता आदरणीय रामविलास पासवान जी को निरंतरता में देखा है, तो मैं समझता हूं कि मंत्री पद एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है। कुछ लोग कहते हैं इसको कि मलाई खाने के लिए है और ये है, बट मैं मानता हूं कि एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी, आप एक ऐसे पद पर हैं जहां आप एक बड़े वर्ग का, एक बड़े संख्या में लोगों का आप भला कर सकते हैं, अगर आपकी सोच, आपकी नीयत अगर सही हो। तो मैं समझता हूं कि वो एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। बट बहरहाल जब गठबंधन होता है तो वो लोक नीतियों को लेकर होता है, आपके सिद्धांतों को लेकर होता है, आपके विचारों को लेकर होता है, आपके कॉमन पॉइंट्स क्या हैं, एजेंडास क्या हैं जिसको लेकर आप आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं। मेरा अलायंस का मेन मकसद इसी सोच के साथ था कि कैसे लोकसभा में हम लोग एनडीए को मजबूती दें, विधानसभा में बिहार में हम लोग एनडीए को मजबूती दें, ना कि किसी मंत्री पद को पाने के लिए।
लेकिन मंत्री पद का ऑफर तो आया ही होगा आपको बनाने की बात, तो क्योंकि आपके चाचा पशुपति कुमार पारस मंत्री बने हुए हैं केंद्र में, वो आप ही की पार्टी से सांसद थे, तो आपको लगता है कि आपको ऑफर तो दिया होगा और मंत्री बनेंगे आप? क्योंकि कैबिनेट का एक्सपेंशन कहा जा रहा है कि आप ही लोगों की वजह से रुका हुआ था, कुछ लोगों को एनडीए में शामिल किया जाएगा, उसके बाद
पूर्णतः प्रधानमंत्री जी का अधिकार क्षेत्र है, इस पे किसी भी दूसरे का टिप्पणी करना उचित नहीं।
पर आपकी कोई बातचीत हुई है इस बारे में?
जैसा मैंने कहा कि पूर्णतः प्रधानमंत्री जी का अधिकार क्षेत्र है, इसमें किसी का भी मुझसे बातचीत करना या इसमें मेरी कोई सहमति या असहमति देना उचित नहीं है।
ऐसी कोई डील नहीं हुई?
ऑफ कोर्स नॉट। जैसा मैंने कहा कि चर्चाएं सिर्फ गठबंधन को कैसे मजबूती मिले उसको लेकर हुई, किसी मंत्री पद को मद्देनजर रखते हुए कभी नहीं हुई।
चिराग जी, आपके चाचा पशुपति कुमार पारस मंत्री बने हुए हैं केंद्र में, और हाजीपुर की सीट को लेकर भी बवाल चला हुआ है। आपने एक दावा ठोका है कि मेरे पिता की सीट है, पुरानी वहीं से लड़ते रहे, विरासत की अगर बात की जाए तो वो छोड़ने को तैयार नहीं। आपके चाचा कह रहे हैं कि नहीं मैं लड़ूंगा, मेरे को जाते हुए उन्होंने सौंपी थी ये सीट और मैं यहाँ से लड़ूंगा, मैं केंद्र की पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं आना चाहता था। और चिराग पासवान कौन होते हैं ये सब कहने वाले?
नहीं, डेफिनेटली हर कोई अपने अपने दावे करता है। वो वहाँ के मौजूदा सांसद हैं, उन्होंने अपने दावेदारी पेश की है। मेरे अपने कारण हैं वहाँ से दावेदारी पेश करने के। बचपन से जब से होश संभाला मैंने अपने पिताजी को हाजीपुर का ही प्रतिनिधित्व करते हुए देखा। सो कहीं ना कहीं एक सिनोनिम सा बन गया था हाजीपुर और मेरे पिता का नाम। तो ऐसे में जब वो इस दुनिया में नहीं है, मुझे लगता है कि एक पुत्र होने के नाते मेरा उत्तरदायित्व बनता है हाजीपुर के भी प्रति, और जो जो कार्य उनके अधूरे रह गए हैं उनको मैं वहाँ पर मैं पूरा करूँ। मैं काफ़ी समय अपना बिहार में जब रहता हूँ, हाजीपुर में मैं देता भी हूँ। तो यकीनन मेरी ख्वाहिश है, अंतोगत्वा इस पे अंतिम निर्णय भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लेना है। और आई थिंक विनेबिलिटी एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर होता है किसी का भी कहीं से भी चुनाव लड़ने को लेकर। मैं मानता हूं कि एनडीए और भारतीय जनता पार्टी खासतौर पर इन तमाम परिस्थिति को मद्देनजर रखेगी जरूर। और मेरा पूरा विश्वास है, कहीं पे कोई शंका नहीं है। और ये विश्वास को मैं पूरे अथॉरिटी के साथ मैं कहता हूं कि हाजीपुर से अगला चुनाव लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी रामविलास ही लड़ेगी।
आप लड़ेंगे, आपकी मम्मी लड़ेंगी? रेणु, ये
अंतिम फैसला भाई पार्टी करेगी, पार्टी का संसदीय बोर्ड करेगा कि वहां से कौन चुनाव लड़ता है, पार्टी की तरफ से कौन प्रत्याशी होगा था। बट चुनाव लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी रामविलास लड़ेगी।
आपके चाचा तो छोड़ने को तैयार नहीं है। वो कहते हैं चिराग पासवान कौन होते हैं, उनको तो पता ही नहीं है। जैसे सड़क पे कोई जानवर 20 सड़क खड़ा होता है, पता नहीं होता किस साइड जाना है। तो चिराग पासवान की ये स्थिति है। ऐसे ऐसे आरोप आपके ऊपर लगाए जा रहे हैं।
कोई बात नहीं भाई, मुझसे बड़े हैं उम्र में और बड़ों का हक होता है, अधिकार होता है। नाराज हो सकते हैं, डांट सकते हैं, कुछ भी कह सकते हैं। मैंने आज तक कभी उनकी किसी बात का ना बुरा माना, ना मैंने किसी भी बात पर उनको पलट के जवाब दिया, ना मेरे संस्कारों में है ये। वो अपनी बातें रख रहे हैं अपनी तरफ से। बस मुझे कभी कभी अफसोस इस बात का होता है कि जब वो कहते हैं, कहते कहते इतने उत्तेजित हो जाते हैं। हैं तो मेरे चाचा ही, मेरे पिता के बाद मैंने उन्हें ही अपना पिता माना था। तो ऐसे में जब मैं उनको देखता हूँ इस तरीके से परेशान या जिस तरीके से कमेंट्स आते हैं उनके बारे में या लोग कहते हैं, इन बातों को लेकर मैं दुखी होता हूं कि उम्र के इस पड़ाव में इतने चिंतित, इतने परेशान, इतने आक्रोशित जब मैं उनको देखता हूं, या जब लोग उनके बारे में ऐसी बातें करते हैं, उनके हर कमेंट्स, उनके हर बाइट के बाद जब नीचे कमेंट्स आप पढ़ते हैं, तो वो चीज़ें मुझे ज़रूर परेशान करती हैं। बट मुझे लगता है समय हर चीज का रास्ता खोज ही लेता है। 24 आते आते तक ये बात और स्पष्ट हो जाएगी।
अगर वो सीट नहीं छोड़ते हैं फिर तो आमने सामने चाचा भतीजा फिर एक बार सामने हो जाएंगे, आमने सामने।
मुझे नहीं लगता भाई ऐसी कोई परिस्थिति आएगी।
बीजेपी उनको मना लेगी कि आप छोड़ दीजिए?
जैसा मैंने कहा, समय रास्ता निकाल ही लेगा।
तो अगर पूरी पार्टी, क्योंकि बीजेपी चाहती है कि आप और आपके चाचा दोनों एक बार फिर साथ हो जाएं, पूरी पार्टी एक साथ हो जाए, क्या इस पे पॉसिबिलिटी है कि दोनों एक बार फिर साथ आ जाएं?
भाई मैं जिस परिवार से आता हूं वहां पर ऐसे फैसले बड़ों के द्वारा ही लिए जाते हैं, और मुझे लगता है मेरे चाचा ने ये फैसला कई बार न सिर्फ लिया है बल्कि इसकी घोषणा भी उन्होंने कई बार कही। उन्होंने तो यहाँ तक कहा कि सूरज पश्चिम से उग जाएगा पर चिराग के साथ मैं कभी नहीं जाऊंगा। हाल फिलहाल में भी जब केंद्रीय गृह राज्य मंत्री आदरणीय नित्यानंद राय जी गए, उन्होंने उनसे बातचीत की, उस वक्त भी उन्होंने पूरी तरीके से इस बात को नकारा कि ऐसा कोई समझौता संभव ही नहीं है। तो जब घर के बड़ों ने ही ये फैसला ले लिया तो मेरी हामी का या मेरे इनकार का कोई मायने ही नहीं बचता।
लेकिन आप चाहते हैं, दिली ख्वाहिश है आपकी कि फिर एक बार पूरा पासवान परिवार और पूरी पार्टी एकजुट होकर के चुनाव में जाए?
भाई मैं ईमानदारी से बोलूंगा, मैं इन सब चीजों से बहुत आगे निकल चुका हूँ। 2 साल का समय मेरे लिए, मेरे परिवार के लिए, मेरी मदर के लिए, मेरी सिस्टर्स के लिए, मेरे जीजा जी के लिए, मेरे भांजे भांजी सबके लिए ये बहुत कठिन समय रहा है। इन 2 सालों में हम लोगों ने कई उतार चढ़ाव देखे हैं, कई तरीके की विपरीत परिस्थितियां मेरे पिता के निधन के बाद परिवार को टूटने से लेकर पार्टी को लेकर कई ऐसी परिस्थितियां हम लोग के सामने आई। तो उसमें एकदम अपने लक्ष्य को क्लियर रखते हुए बिना किसी डाइवर्जन के मैं सिर्फ अपने काम पर मैंने ध्यान दिया। और अब 2 साल के बाद जब मैं मुड़ के देखता हूं तो मुझे एहसास होता है कि अब मैं इन सब चीज़ों से बहुत आगे निकल आया हूं। बल्कि कभी कभी मुझे चाचा जी को लेकर लगता है कि वो अभी भी वही 2 साल पुरानी ही बातें करते हैं कि उस वक्त ऐसा हुआ था, ये हुआ था, सांसद ये चाह रहे थे, इसने ऐसा फैसला लिया, इसने लोगों की नहीं सुनी। वो अभी भी उसी एरा में उलझे हुए हैं, जबकि समय बहुत आगे बीत गया। तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि आज की तारीख में इस प्रश्न की कोई इम्पोर्टेंस बचती है।
6 सीटें, जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा कि 6 सीटें चुनाव लड़ी थी 2019 में, 6 की 6 जीती थी और एक राज्यसभा की सीट। तो आपको लगता है कि 6 सीटें प्लस राज्यसभा अभी भी आपको दी जानी चाहिए?
भाई, इन तमाम विषयों को लेकर चर्चा हम लोग की हुई है गठबंधन के भीतर और बहुत सकारात्मक चर्चाएं हुई हैं। बट मैं पुनः दोहराऊंगा, मैं गठबंधन धर्म की मर्यादाओं के बाहर जाऊंगा अगर इसकी पे मैं कोई भी चर्चा सार्वजनिक तौर पे करूं, क्योंकि ये गठबंधन के भीतर की बात है। जब भी इसको साझा करना होगा, एक साथ एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे सारे गठबंधन के साथ ही इसको साझा करेंगे।
चिराग जी, ये तो सवाल हुआ चाचा भतीजे की बात का, लेकिन बीजेपी के साथ भी आपका मकान खाली करवाया गया। आपने बहुत कोशिश की कि मकान खाली ना किया जाए। उसी बीजेपी ने आपको, जब जेडीयू के खिलाफ भी ऐसी खबरें थी कि जेडीयू के खिलाफ आपको इस्तेमाल किया, चुनाव हरवाया गया कमजोर करने के लिए जेडीयू को। फिर उसके बाद बीजेपी, ये भी आरोप लगे कि बीजेपी और जेडीयू ने मिलकर के आपकी पार्टी को तोड़वाया। अब आप फिर बीजेपी के साथ जा रहे हैं, एनडीए में शामिल हो रहे हैं। ऐसी क्या आपको लगता है मजबूरी थी कि उनके साथ दोबारा से जाए आप?
भाई, मजबूरी नहीं, जैसा मैंने कहा, आप व्यक्तिगत हितों को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप फैसले नहीं लेते हैं। आप बड़े परिप्रेक्ष्य में चीज़ों को देखते हैं। जब आप लोक कल्याण की बात करते हैं, जब आप जनहित की आप बात करते हैं, या पार्टी हित की भी अगर आप बात करते हैं, तो उसमें ज़रूरी है पार्टी के तमाम नेताओं के राय मशवरे को सुनना। तो ये तमाम फैसले उस सोच के साथ लिए जाते हैं। जहाँ तक घर खाली करने की आपने बात की, भैया, मैं उस घर में रहने का हकदार ही नहीं था। वो जिस कैटेगरी का वो हाउस था, ज़रूर हाँ, इस बात से मुझे एतराज़ था कि जिस तरीके से खाली कराया गया, थोड़ा सा समय मिलता तो हम लोग शायद बेहतर परिस्थिति में उस घर को हम लोग खाली करते। बट इस बात को लेकर मैं हमेशा से क्लियर था कि जिसका मैं हकदार ही नहीं हूँ, उस पर मैं दावेदारी कर ही नहीं सकता। तो वो घर कभी प्रश्न ही नहीं बनता था। दूसरा, आपने सवाल किया कि जनता दल यूनाइटेड के सामने पार्टी को कमज़ोर करने के लिए, जदयू को कमज़ोर करने के लिए, ये फैसला पूर्णतः लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी का ही था। मैं उस वक्त, क्योंकि अब तो लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी रामविलास मैं बोलूंगा, बट उस वक्त लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी जो अपने मूल स्वरूप में थी, उसका ये फैसला था। और भले आज कई लोग इससे असहमति दर्ज करें, बट उस वक्त पार्टी के तमाम सांसद, तमाम विधायक, सब ने मिलकर यह फैसला लिया था कि हम लोग को अकेले चुनाव लड़ना चाहिए। बिकॉज जिस तरीके से एनडीए गठबंधन में मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी के दबाव में हम लोग को कॉर्नर किया जा रहा था, हम लोग को लड़ने के लिए ना के बराबर सीटें उस वक्त दी जा रही थी। तो ये तमाम परिस्थितियां में फैसला लिया गया पार्टी के द्वारा कि हम लोग अकेले चुनाव लड़ें। तो इसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी की कहीं से कोई भूमिका ही नहीं आती। और तीसरा प्रश्न जो आपने पूछा कि पार्टी टूटी, परिवार टूटा, उसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी की भूमिका, मैं तो इसमें बल्कि जनता दल यूनाइटेड को भी मैं दोष नहीं देता पार्टी परिवार तोड़ने में। मैं मानता हूं कि अगर आपके अपने आपके साथ खड़े रहते तो मुझे नहीं लगता दुनिया की कोई भी ताकत है जो मेरे परिवार को या मेरी पार्टी को तोड़ सकती। यहाँ पर धोखा मुझे मेरे अपनों से ही मिला। मेरे अपने अगर मेरे साथ रहते तो कोई पार्टी परिवार को नहीं तोड़ सकता। तो इसमें किसी तीसरे की भूमिका की गुंजाइश ही बहुत सीमित रह जाती है जब आपके अपने ही आपके साथ ना खड़े हों।
आपको कोई इतराज है कि अगर पारस जी मंत्री बने रहे सरकार में, केंद्र में, और आपको भी मंत्री बना दिया जाए, तो आपको कोई एतराज तो नहीं? क्योंकि आप ही की पार्टी को तोड़ के मंत्री बने थे एक गुट को लेकर।
भाई, मुझे किसी बात से कोई एतराज नहीं है। जैसा मैंने कहा कि मैं इन सब चीजों से बहुत आगे निकल गया हूं। मुझे घर, परिवार, चाचा, भतीजा, इन सब की लड़ाई में उलझना ही नहीं है। मैं बिहार में, मैं खास तौर पे अगर मैं बात करूं, मैं बिहार फर्स्ट, बिहारी फर्स्ट के विजन के साथ निकला हूं। मेरे लिए बड़ी चिंता है मेरे सामने कि क्यों आज़ादी के 75 साल के बाद आज भी मेरा बिहार प्रदेश पिछड़े राज्यों की श्रेणी में आता है। मुख्यमंत्री 18 साल से मेरे प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री हैं। उन्होंने क्या ऐसे कार्य किए जो मेरे प्रदेश को विकास की राह पर आगे लेकर जाए या बनिस्बत बाकी राज्यों के समकक्ष में लाकर मेरे प्रदेश को खड़ा करे। जब मैं विजनलेस की बात करता हूं, मैं मेरे मुख्यमंत्री जी का मैं जिक्र करता हूं कि उनके पास वो विजन ही नहीं है कि कैसे प्रदेश में आईटी जॉब, आईटी सेक्टर्स आए, या इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हो, या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बेटर हो, या वहां पे एजुकेशनल हब बने। तो मेरी चिंता, मेरी सोच पूरी उस दिशा में। सो फॉर मी इट रियली डजंट मैटर कि कौन कैबिनेट में है, कौन मंत्री हैं, कौन क्या कर रहे हैं, नहीं कर रहे हैं। मेरी सोच भी उस तरफ नहीं जाती है।
मतलब आप उनके साथ बैठने को तैयार है एनडीए की मीटिंग में, चाचा भतीजा आमने सामने? कोई एतराज नहीं आपको?
भाई, ऑफ कोर्स नॉट। जब आप कलीग्स होते हैं, आपको अपने व्यक्तिगत इश्यूज को, उन बैगेजेस को आपको पीछे रखकर उस गठबंधन के हित में आपको आगे बढ़ने की जरूरत होती है।
चुनाव में जब आप एनडीए का हिस्सा हो गए, वो भी एनडीए का हिस्सा है, अगर वो चुनाव लड़ते हैं हाजीपुर या जहां से भी तय होता है, तो आप उनके लिए, उनको जितवाने के लिए कैंपेन करने को तैयार है?
भाई, हाजीपुर के अलावा जहां से भी चुनाव लड़ेंगे मैं जरूर करूंगा, बट हाजीपुर से वो चुनाव लड़े ऐसी परिस्थिति उत्पन्न होती मुझे दिखती नहीं है।
लेकिन उनको जितवाने के लिए अगर दूसरी सीट चाहते हैं तो आप कैंपेन
वो
करें।
जहां से भी वो चुनाव लड़े, मैं एनडीए का हिस्सा हूं, एनडीए जहां पे मुझे कहेगी प्रचार के लिए मैं जरूर जाऊंगा।
चिराग जी 5 सांसद हैं उनके पास, आपको लगता नहीं उनका गुट ज्यादा मजबूत है, उनकी पार्टी ज्यादा मजबूत है, आप सिर्फ अकेले सांसद हैं? तो ऐसे में 2024 में आपकी दावेदारी जो 6 सीटों की पहले थी, क्या आपको लगता है दावेदारी बन पाएगी या एनडीए या बीजेपी आपको अकोमोडेट करेगा?
भाई I'll just begin by correcting you a little bit. 5 सांसद उनके साथ नहीं है। जरूर वो दल बदल कानून की जो बाध्यता है उससे संभवतः वो बंधे हुए जरूर होंगे। औपचारिक तौर पर संभवतः वो उस गठबंधन से अलग निकल नहीं पा रहे होंगे। बट इट्स लाइक एन ओपन सीक्रेट, एवरीबडी नोज दैट उनके जो बाकी के 3 सांसद हैं, लिविंग असाइड माय चाचा एंड माय यंगर ब्रदर, उन 2 को अगर आप छोड़ दें तो बाकी के जो उनके 3 सांसद हैं वो किस किस के संपर्क में हैं, ये बात किसी से छुपी नहीं है। कल ही उनकी एक सांसद यहाँ मेरे साथ ही मौजूद थी। लंबे समय से उनके कई और सांसद मेरे संपर्क में हैं, और ना सिर्फ मेरे संपर्क में भाई बल्कि कई और दलों के भी संपर्क में हैं। और ये बात इट्स लाइक एन ओपन सीक्रेट, एज आई सेड, ये मुझे पता है, ये बिहार की जनता को पता है, एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली भारतीय जनता पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व को पता है, क्योंकि उनके कुछ एक सांसद तो भाजपा के भी संपर्क में हैं। तो ऐसे में ये दावेदारी पेश करना कि 5 सांसद उनके साथ हैं, ये कहीं से भी सही नहीं है।
Jumping on a weighing machine, each time, do you feel bloated or fat? I felt the same until some time ago when I realized that the number on the scale is only worthy of worry if you have extra fat or excess weight gain, which means if you don't have extra fat and you are healthy, you don't need to worry.
Which means that if you are healthy and do not have excess fat, some weight gain is not something to lose sleep over. More than often, you would hear people stressing about gaining extra kilograms and happy if they lose these kilos. Fat gain has become synonymous with weight gain, but they are not the same things. Weight loss refers to a reduction in your overall body weight, including muscle, water, and fat loss. As far as fat loss is concerned, it refers to weight loss from the body fat. Simply put, it refers to the overall drop in the overall kilogram weight. There are a number of things that can affect weight fluctuation on a daily basis, such as hormonal imbalance, varying sodium intake, different amounts of dietary fiber and food. Fat loss refers to weight loss from the fat, and it is more specific and healthful goal than weight loss. In fact, fat loss consists of losing weight while maintaining as much muscle mass as possible, which will allow you to look more toned and get that fit look. So if simply put, fat loss is equal to reduction or burning of the stored body weight. What is the difference between weight loss and fat loss? So what should you aim for? What is healthy, fat loss or weight loss? Weight loss can be on the top of your goal, but for a healthier body composition, fat loss is the one you should be aiming for. Aiming to achieve fat loss could also help get rid of excess fat, which is potentially dangerous, but also maintains a lean tissue growth. Muscle tissues additionally also help provide strength, agility, and burn more calories even at rest. Fat loss reduction could also aim at minimizing visceral fat levels in the body, which is the most harmful kind of fat. Relying on a weighing scale alone may not work as an accurate detector of how much fat you are really losing or determine the muscle mass you have. However, using a more accurate means of detection, such as a body fat scale. Make sure to consult a doctor before you go ahead with any hardcore exercise regime or a strict diet plan. With Sabah Ikram, Bureau Report, India Today.
What if I told you 3 hours of a workout can be packed in just 20 minutes? I'm not even kidding. Sounds too good to be true. It actually is, because what I'm doing right now and about to learn from Dr. Garima Gaur is EMS training, where EMS is used along with my exercises to make sure that the 3-hour workshop fits into exactly 20 minutes. So all you lazy bees out there who say we don't have time for a workout, you cannot complain anymore, because EMS training is here. So you don't need hours in the gym now to get yourself the best body that you aspire for. You can do it in just 20 minutes through this electromagnetic stimulation training. I'm exactly here to tell you how to do it. So Nitika and I will get it done now, tell you how it feels as well. There's nothing to be scared of. It's beautiful. It's a lot of fun, and my review is going to follow.
Come on, come on, come on. Faster, 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 faster. We will perform jumping jacks in the next 3 seconds. So 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 4, 5. Amazing. 6, 7. Brilliant. 8, 9.
It's like this electric energy passing through my body, like the TENS machine and the EMS machine. You really do not require any kind of workout gear for this. Whenever you go to the center to do your EMS training with your doctor who is going to be guiding you, they give you the gear and they do it strictly under medical supervision. So we just finished 20 minutes of an EMS training session, which is equivalent to 2 to 3 hours of a workout, depending on what is the intensity of the electromagnetic pulses. Wonder I'm feeling so tired, but what is the science behind this? Why do you say that I did 4 hours of workout? Because I actually did 20 minutes of a workout.
So the science behind it is basically the dual firing of a muscle fiber. In a conventional workout, only 30% of the muscle fibers are being activated. However, with the EMS training suit, we ensure that there's an external stimulation also. This means that instead of just 30%, you will have 95% of your muscle fibers being stimulated and working out all at once.
Like I usually work out, but the time the stimulation went up, I could actually feel that, there is some extra effort I have to put in that workout. Those stimulations, which, I was like, oops, it's getting into me now. So at some point it was uncomfortable, but while working out, it was really nice.
We're doing this at the wellness company, and over here it costs 5,500 rupees thereabout plus taxes, but on an average you'll spend anywhere between 5,000 to 6,000 rupees depending on which center and which city you're going to. What's important to note is that you do not have to go overboard with this. The dosage of the electrical impulses are going to be tailored just for you. So don't try to do this at home. Do it strictly and strictly under doctor's supervision only.
Without getting your muscles contracted with weights, it is sending direct electrical signals in that muscles. It is a very advanced tool that helps in getting better contraction, resulting in a better workout. There are no side effects as such, because it's just improving the quality of your workout.
You are watching India Today.
आनंद से भरा हुआ माहौल में अनुभव कर रहा हूं। साथियों, देश भर से जो कोई वहां घूमने जाना चाहते हैं, उनकी भी यही इच्छा थी। अभी तक मौजूदा टर्मिनल की कैपेसिटी हर रोज 4000 टूरिस्ट को हैंडल करने की थी। नया टर्मिनल बनने के बाद इस एयरपोर्ट पर हर रोज करीब करीब 11000 टूरिस्ट को हैंडल करने की कैपेसिटी बन गई है। नई व्यवस्था में अब एयरपोर्ट पर एक साथ 10 विमान भी खड़े हो पाएंगे, यानी यहां के लिए नई फ्लाइट्स के लिए भी रास्ता खुल गया है। और ज्यादा फ्लाइट्स आने, ज्यादा टूरिस्ट आने का सीधा मतलब है ज्यादा से ज्यादा रोजगार। पोर्ट ब्लेयर की इस नई टर्मिनल बिल्डिंग में ईज ऑफ ट्रैवल बढ़ेगा, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस बढ़ेगा और कनेक्टिविटी भी बेहतर होगी। मैं देश के लोगों को, पोर्ट ब्लेयर के सभी साथियों को इस सुविधा के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, लंबे समय तक भारत में विकास का दायरा कुछ बड़े शहरों, कुछ क्षेत्रों तक सीमित रहा। कुछ दलों की स्वार्थ भरी राजनीति के कारण विकास का लाभ देश के दूर दराज वाले इलाकों तक पहुंचा ही नहीं। ये दल उन्हीं कामों को प्राथमिकता देते थे जिसमें इनका खुद का भला हो, इनके परिवार का भला हो। नतीजा ये हुआ कि जो हमारे आदिवासी क्षेत्र हैं, जो हमारे आइलैंड्स हैं, वहां की जनता विकास से वंचित रही, विकास के लिए तरसती रही। बीते 9 वर्षों में हमने पूरी संवेदनशीलता के साथ पहले की सरकारों की उन गलतियों को सुधारा है। इतना ही नहीं, नई व्यवस्थाएं भी बनाई हैं। अब भारत में विकास का एक नया मॉडल विकसित हुआ है। ये मॉडल इंक्लूजन का है, सबको साथ लेकर चलने का है। ये मॉडल सबका साथ, सबका विकास का है। और जब मैं सबका विकास कहता हूं तो इसका अर्थ बहुत व्यापक है। सबका विकास मतलब हर व्यक्ति, हर वर्ग, हर क्षेत्र का विकास। सबका विकास मतलब जीवन के हर पहलू का विकास, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, कनेक्टिविटी, हर प्रकार सबका विकास। साथियों, इसी सोच के साथ बीते 9 वर्षों में अंडमान निकोबार में विकास की नई गाथा लिखी गई है। पिछली सरकार के 9 साल में, यानी हमारे पहले जो सरकार थी, 9 साल में अंडमान निकोबार को करीब 23,000 करोड़ रुपए का बजट अलर्ट किया गया था, जबकि हमारी सरकार के दौरान अंडमान निकोबार के विकास के लिए 9 वर्षों में करीब करीब 48,000 करोड़ रुपए का बजट दिया गया है। यानी हमारी सरकार ने अंडमान निकोबार के विकास के लिए पहले के मुकाबले 2 गुना ज्यादा पैसा खर्च किया है। पिछली सरकार के 9 साल में अंडमान निकोबार में 28,000 घरों को पानी के कनेक्शन से जोड़ा गया था। हमारी सरकार के 9 साल में यहां के करीब 50,000 घरों तक पानी का कनेक्शन पहुंचाया गया है। यानी हर घर जल पहुंचाने के लिए भी हमारी सरकार ने पहले के मुकाबले 2 गुनी रफ्तार से काम किया है। आज यहां के लगभग हर व्यक्ति के पास अपना बैंक अकाउंट है। आज यहां के हर गरीब को वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड की सुविधा मिली हुई है। पहले की सरकार के समय अंडमान निकोबार में एक भी मेडिकल कॉलेज नहीं था। ये हमारी सरकार है जिसने पोर्ट ब्लेयर में मेडिकल कॉलेज की स्थापना की है। पहले की सरकार के समय अंडमान निकोबार में इंटरनेट सैटेलाइट के भरोसे ही था। हमारी सरकार ने समंदर के नीचे सैकड़ों किलोमीटर सबमरीन ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल बिछाकर इस परेशानी को दूर कर दिया है। साथियों, अंडमान निकोबार में हो रहा सुविधाओं का ये विकास यहां के टूरिज्म को गति दे रहा है। जब मोबाइल कनेक्टिविटी बढ़ती है तो टूरिस्ट भी बढ़ते हैं। जब हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सुधरता है तो टूरिस्ट का आना जाना और बढ़ जाता है। जब एयरपोर्ट पर सुविधाएं बढ़ती हैं तो टूरिस्ट यहां आना पसंद करता है। जब रोड अच्छी होती है तो टूरिस्ट अपने इलाके में ज्यादा से समय बिताता है। इसलिए ही अंडमान निकोबार आने वाले टूरिस्टों की संख्या अब 2014 के मुकाबले 2 गुनी हो गई है। यहां स्नॉर्केलिंग, स्कूबा डाइविंग, सी क्रूज जैसे एडवेंचर के लिए आने वाले टूरिस्टों की संख्या भी बढ़ रही है। और साथियों, मेरे अंडमान निकोबार के भाई बहन सुन लीजिए, ये तो अभी शुरुआत है। आने वाले सालों में ये संख्या कई गुना बढ़ने वाली है। इससे अंडमान निकोबार में रोजगार, स्वरोजगार की नई संभावनाएं बनने वाली है। साथियों, आज अंडमान निकोबार विरासत भी और विकास भी इस महामंत्र का जीवंत उदाहरण बन रहा है। आप भी जानते हैं कि अंडमान निकोबार में लाल किले से भी पहले तिरंगा फहराया गया था, लेकिन फिर भी यहां सिर्फ गुलामी के ही निशान दिखते थे। ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि साल 2018 में मैंने अंडमान में उसी स्थान पर तिरंगा लहराया जहां नेताजी सुभाष ने झंडा फहराया था। ये हमारी ही सरकार है जिसने रॉस आइलैंड को नेताजी सुभाष का नाम दिया। ये हमारी ही सरकार है जिसने हैवलॉक और नील आइलैंड को स्वराज और शहीद आइलैंड का नाम दिया है। हमने ही 21 द्वीपों का नामकरण देश के लिए पराक्रम दिखाने वाले वीर पराक्रमी सपूतों के नाम, परम वीर चक्र विजेताओं के नाम पर किया है। आज अंडमान निकोबार के ये द्वीप पूरे देश के युवाओं को देश के विकास की नई प्रेरणा दे रहे हैं। साथियों, आजादी के 75 वर्षों में हमारा भारत कहीं से कहीं पहुंच सकता था, और ये मैं बहुत जिम्मेवारी से कह रहा हूं, कहीं से कहीं पहुंच सकता था। हम भारतीयों के सामर्थ्य में कभी कोई कमी नहीं रही है, लेकिन सामान्य भारतीय के इस सामर्थ्य के साथ हमेशा भ्रष्टाचारी और परिवारवादी पार्टियों ने अन्याय किया। आज देश के लोग 2024 चुनाव में फिर एक बार हमारी सरकार वापस लाने का मन बना चुके हैं, निर्णय ले चुके हैं। ऐसे में भारत की बदहाली के जिम्मेदार कुछ लोग अपनी दुकान खोलकर बैठ गए हैं। इन्हें देखकर मुझे एक कविता की कुछ पंक्तियां याद आती हैं। एक कवि महाशय ने अवधी में लिखा था, ये अवधी भाषा में लिखी गई कविता है। गायित कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबिल कुछ है, माल कुछ है। 24 के लिए 26 होने वाले राजनीतिक दलों पर ये बड़ा फिट बैठता है। गायित कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबिल कुछ है और माल कुछ है। यानी गाना कोई और गाया जा रहा है, जबकि सच्चाई कुछ और है। लेबल किसी और का लगाया गया है, जबकि प्रोडक्ट कुछ और ही है। इनकी दुकान की यही सच्चाई है। इनकी दुकान पर 2 चीजों की गारंटी मिलती है। एक तो ये अपनी दुकान पर जातिवाद का जहर बेचते हैं, और दूसरा ये लोग असीमित भ्रष्टाचार करते हैं। आजकल ये लोग बेंगलुरु में जुटे हैं। एक जमाने में एक गाना बहुत मशहूर था, मुझे तो पूरा याद नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे याद आ रहा है। एक चेहरे पर कई चेहरे लगा लेते हैं लोग, एक चेहरे पर कई चेहरे लगा लेते हैं लोग। आप देखिए ये लोग कितने चेहरे लगाकर बैठे हैं। जब ये लोग कैमरे के सामने एक फ्रेम में आ जाते हैं तो पहला विचार देश के सामने क्या आता है? पहला विचार देश के लोगों के मन में यही आता है, पूरा फ्रेम देख करके देशवासी यही बोल उठता है, लाखों करोड़ों रुपए का भ्रष्टाचार। इसलिए देश की जनता कह रही है कि ये तो कट्टर भ्रष्टाचारी सम्मेलन हो रहा है, कट्टर भ्रष्टाचारी सम्मेलन हो रहा है। ये लोग गा कुछ और रहे हैं, हाल कुछ और है, इन्होंने लेबल कुछ और लगाया हुआ है, माल कुछ और है। इनका प्रोडक्ट है 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए के घोटाले की गारंटी। 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए के घोटाले की गारंटी। साथियों, इस बैठक की एक और खास बात है। अगर कोई करोड़ों के घोटाले में जमानत पर है तो उसे बहुत सम्मान की नजर से देखा जाता है। अगर पूरा का पूरा परिवार ही जमानत पर है तो उसकी और ज्यादा खातिरदारी होती है। अगर किसी दल का कोई वर्तमान मंत्री भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में जेल जाता है तो उसे एक्स्ट्रा नंबर देकर स्पेशल इनवाइटी बुलाकर बुलाया जाता है। अगर कोई किसी समाज का अपमान करता है, अदालत से सजा पाता है तो उसकी बड़ी आवाभगत होती है। अगर कोई अदालत से करोड़ों के घोटाले में दोषी पाया गया है तो इस बैठक में शामिल होने की उसकी क्वालिफिकेशन और बढ़ जाती है। बल्कि ये लोग तो उससे मार्गदर्शन मांगते हैं। भ्रष्टाचार को लेकर इनमें बड़ी आत्मीयता है, बड़ा प्रेम है। इसलिए 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए के भ्रष्टाचार की गारंटी देने वाले ये लोग बड़े प्रेम से, बड़ी आत्मीयता से आपस में मिल रहे हैं। साथियों, भ्रष्टाचार की इस दुकान में जुटे हुए ये सभी परिवारवाद के कट्टर समर्थक हैं। न खाता न वही, जो परिवार कहे वही सही। लोकतंत्र के लिए कहा जाता है ऑफ द पीपल, बाय द पीपल, फॉर द पीपल। लेकिन इन परिवारवादियों का मंत्र है ऑफ द फैमिली, बाय द फैमिली, फॉर द फैमिली। फैमिली फर्स्ट, नेशन नथिंग। इन लोगों का मोटो है, इनकी यही प्रेरणा है। ये लोग देश के लोकतंत्र को, देश के संविधान को अपना बंधक बनाना चाहते हैं। इनके लिए मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा, नफरत है, नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, तुष्टीकरण है, मन काले हैं। नफरत है, घोटाले हैं, तुष्टीकरण है, मन काले हैं। परिवारवाद की आग के दशकों से देश हवाले हैं। साथियों, इनके लिए देश के गरीब के बच्चों का विकास नहीं, बल्कि अपने बच्चों का, अपने भाई भतीजों का विकास मायने रखता है। आजकल आप देखते हैं कि देश में स्टार्टअप बढ़ रहे हैं। हमारे युवा बड़ी संख्या में पेटेंट करा रहे हैं, ट्रेडमार्क रजिस्टर करा रहे हैं। पोर्ट की दुनिया में मेरे देश के नौजवान छाए हुए हैं, बेटियां कमाल कर रही हैं। ये युवा शक्ति हमारे देश में पहले भी थी, लेकिन इन परिवारवादी पार्टियों ने कभी देश के सामान्य युवा की शक्ति के साथ न्याय नहीं किया। इनकी एक ही विचारधारा है, एक ही एजेंडा है, अपना परिवार बचाओ, परिवार के लिए भ्रष्टाचार बढ़ाओ। इनका कॉमन मिनिमम प्रोग्राम है देश का विकास रोकना, अपने कुशासन पर पर्दा डालना और अपने भ्रष्टाचार के विरुद्ध कार्रवाई को रोकना। अब देखिए, ये जो जमात इकट्ठी हुए है ना, उनके कुनबे में बड़े से बड़े घोटालों पर, अपराधों पर इनकी जुबान बंद हो जाती है। जब किसी एक राज्य में इनके कुशासन की पोल खुलती है तो दूसरे राज्यों के ये लोग फौरन उसके बचाव में तर्क देने लगते हैं। कहीं बाढ़ घोटाला होता है, किसी का अपहरण होता है, तो कुनबे के सारे लोग सबसे पहले चुप हो जाते हैं। आपने देखा है कि कुछ दिन पहले ही पश्चिम बंगाल में पंचायत चुनाव हुए, वहां सरेआम हिंसा हुई, लगातार खून खराबा हो रहा है। इस पर भी इन सब की बोलती बंद है। कांग्रेस के, लेफ्ट के अपने कार्यकर्ता वहां खुद को बचाने की गुहार लगा रहे हैं, लेकिन कांग्रेस और लेफ्ट के नेताओं ने अपने स्वार्थ में अपने कार्यकर्ताओं को भी मरने के लिए छोड़ दिया है। राजस्थान में बेटियों से अत्याचार हो या परीक्षाओं के पेपर लीक हो रहे हो, इन्हें कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता। परिवर्तन की बातें करके जनता से विश्वासघात करने वाले जब करोड़ों का शराब घोटाला करते हैं तो ये कुनबा फिर उन्हें कवर देने लग जाता है। इनका कट्टर भ्रष्टाचार उन्हें तब दिखाई देना बंद हो जाता है जब देश की कोई एजेंसी इन पर कार्रवाई करती है तो उनका टैप रिकॉर्डर शुरू हो जाता है, कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, सब साजिश है, हमें फंसाया जा रहा है। आप तमिलनाडु में देखिए, भ्रष्टाचार के घोटाले के अनेक मामले सामने आ रहे हैं, लेकिन इनके कुनबे के सारे दलों ने पहले ही सबको क्लीन चिट दे दी है। इसलिए इन लोगों को पहचाने रहिए साथियों, उनको जान लीजिए, इन लोगों से सतर्क रहिए भाई बहनों। साथियों, इन लोगों की साजिशों के बीच हमें देश के विकास के लिए खुद को समर्पित रखना है। आज दुनिया में अनेक उदाहरण हैं जहां द्वीपों ने और समुद्र किनारे बसे छोटे देशों ने अभूतपूर्व प्रगति की है। जब उन्होंने प्रगति का रास्ता चुना तो उनके सामने भी चुनौतियां थी, सब कुछ सरल नहीं था, लेकिन उन देशों ने दिखाया है जब विकास आता है तो हर प्रकार के समाधान लेकर आता है। मुझे विश्वास है अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप समूह में हो रहे विकास के काम इस पूरे क्षेत्र को और सशक्त करेंगे। कनेक्टिविटी की ये नई सुविधा वीर सावरकर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट का नया टर्मिनल्स सबके लिए लाभकारी हो, इसी कामना के साथ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के इस कार्यक्रम में भी इतनी बड़ी तादाद में आप लोग आए, आपकी खुशी में यहां से अनुभव कर रहा हूं, आपका उत्साह में अनुभव कर रहा हूं। ऐसे मौके पर एक नया विश्वास, नया संकल्प लेकर के देश आगे बढ़े, अंडमान निकोबार भी आगे बढ़े, इसी कामना के साथ आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
All right, let's take you across to the latest news. This has to be, viewers, one of the Prime Minister's strongest unsparing attack on a united opposition. If you heard what the Prime Minister said, he did not leave a single political party or a head of a political party without naming them, took each one of them head on. This has to be one of the most critical, unsparing attack on a united opposition, one of the strongest attacks by the Prime Minister, targeting the entire gamut of a united opposition. Why do I say that? Name it, right from the Congress, even Rahul Gandhi specifically. He didn't name anyone, but he made it very clear when he spoke about each political party with each political leader who are all together today in Bengaluru as a united force of 26 opposition parties. It's interesting if you read into and hear into what the Prime Minister said. He spoke of, without naming Rahul Gandhi, he spoke of leaders who insulted community and are then indicted by the courts and have paid the price of that. He spoke of Lalu Yadav, saying that the likes of Lalu Prasad, without naming Lalu, saying that, now they are being looked at, these are convicted people of corruption, being looked at as Margdarshak for a united opposition. Arvind Kejriwal, without naming him, the Aam Aadmi Party spoke of the liquor scam, even spoke of Mamta Banerjee of trying to shield leaders who are corrupt as well. And not just that, mounted a strong attack when it came down to dynasty politics, both attacking the Congress, attacking MK Stalin, as well as Mamta Banerjee, where he invokes the nephew angle to it as well. Bhai, Bhatija, Beta. All of that coming in together. I want to bring in Polomi Saha, my colleague who's joining us right now from the newsroom, to take us through Polomi, which has to be one of the strongest attacks mounted by the Prime Minister on a united opposition, an opposition that is meeting in Bengaluru today.
Absolutely. This is possibly one of the strongest attacks that comes on a day that the opposition is meeting in Bengaluru to strategize how they're going to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Like he said, without naming a lot of leaders directly, he of course took pot shots at them, specifically of course concerning dynasty politics as well as corruption. He in fact goes on to say, and he said that this is all about family first and nation nothing, that this is about protecting their families, this is about protecting dynasties, is what this entire coalition is about. Parivar Bachao, Bhrashtachar Badhao is what the Prime Minister said, that this coalition is all about the corrupt who've come together at this Sammelan. He said, in fact, that this is about the opposition trying to open its dukaan in order to protect the corrupt. Opposition wale apni dukaan kholkar hame rokna chahte hain. Now, this dukaan reference, of course, is to Rahul Gandhi, who refers to Mohabbat ki dukaan when he counters the Bharatiya Janata Party. Then, of course, it comes to Arvind Kejriwal as well, saying that these are parties that are kattar bhrashtachar. Kattar Imandar is what Arvind Kejriwal says of the Aam Aadmi Party and leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, who have, of course, been found allegedly practicing corruption, and they are of course serving time in jail at the moment, and of course awaiting trial in their cases as well. But of course this is the attack that the Prime Minister has levelled against the opposition. Ye kattar bhrashtachari sammelan hai is what he said about this conglomerate, which is of course the opposition parties of 26 parties that have come together to meet in Bengaluru today, of course being their second meeting. He also in fact mentioning that as far as Bengal Panchayat elections is concerned, there are of course local leaders of the Congress and the left who are, constantly trying to draw the attention of their high command, their top brass, as far as the national parties are concerned, to of course the alleged atrocities that are being committed against their local unit workers by the ruling Trinamool. But then of course the fact is that the TMC and the Congress, the TMC and the left, as far as the top brass is concerned, they're seated in one room in Bengaluru as they of course try to strategize how to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party. So clearly the Prime Minister is saying that they don't care for what their local units have to say, they don't care for their workers dying on the ground as long as their own ambition to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party is fulfilled. Preeti.
Well, viewers, kid no one. One thing is very clear. This has been one of the strongest attacks mounted by the Prime Minister on a united opposition. Like Polomi also took us through the various instances that the Prime Minister referred to without naming a single political party, without naming a single political leader. He made sure that he went on to attack each one of them. He also primarily stated that the entire opposition together, 26 political parties of them, collectively have led to a corruption of over 20 lakh crore rupees or even more. Also saying that the people have made up their mind that in 24 they're going to vote the BJP, and for 24, 26 have got together. Poulomi, I just want to bring you in because very rarely have we seen the Prime Minister go after all political parties at one go. If you look back, he's made some very, very strong speeches on the floor of the parliament as well, sometimes or mostly attacking the Gandhi family or the Congress in general, to bring in the entire gamut of the opposition without naming a single political leader, leaving no one. Talking of Lalu, talking of Nitish, talking of Bengal, the violence there, talking of Mamta breaking bread with the Gandhis, talking of nephew, bhai, bhatija, beta, where dynastic politics is concerned, talking about the Dukan, which Rahul Gandhi refers to as well, of there are only two things available at this Dukan. It's interesting in the context that today, while the opposition, 26 political parties are meeting, Poulomi, starting 3 p.m., 38 alleged political parties, which the BJP alleges are going to be with them, will also be meeting for their conclave. Clearly, the BJP is keenly watching what is going on in Bangalore, keeping in mind the language of the Prime Minister today, a full-blown attack on the opposition, followed by the key NDA meet later.
Absolutely. There is no doubt about the fact, Preeti, that the BJP is watching very keenly what's happening as far as this opposition or anti-Modi, anti-BJP bloc is concerned. What's happening on that front? They're watching those developments since, of course, this bloc met in Patna on June 23rd, because these are opposition parties which have still some heft and might as far as various states are concerned in terms of regional politics, and of course on the national level as well. The Congress very recently defeated the BJP in Karnataka. So clearly, as far as these parties are concerned, they are watching the developments very keenly. Of course, the challenge lies before these 26 opposition parties to, of course, reconcile all their differences, come together at the table in a way that they are able to arrive at some sort of a common minimum program, a seat-sharing arrangement ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. That still is a very tall ask as far as these 26 opposition parties are concerned. But the NDA and the BJP, of course, watching it very closely. And then, of course, that meeting that is to happen at about 5:30 p.m. this evening in Delhi, which the Prime Minister will be attending himself. Clearly, the BJP now flexing its own muscle and saying this is 26 versus 38.
26 versus 38, and it all boils down to elections 2024. So in terms of just the figures there, we're giving them out to you. Poulomi, do stay on with us. Because like I said, till now, ever, if you look at the history of political commentary of the Prime Minister, this has to be one of the strongest attacks mounted on a united opposition by the Prime Minister. He left no one. Name it. 26 political parties there. He referred to possibly each one of the big players indirectly without naming them, but making it very, very, very clear. Listen in to some of the statements made by the Prime Minister a short while ago.
गाइड कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबल कुछ है, माल कुछ है। 24 के लिए 26 होने वाले राजनीतिक दलों पर ये बड़ा फिट बैठता है। गाइड कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबल कुछ है और माल कुछ है। यानी गाना कोई और गाया जा रहा है, जबकि सच्चाई कुछ और है। लेबल किसी और का लगाया गया है, जबकि प्रोडक्ट कुछ और ही है। इनकी दुकान की यही सच्चाई है। इनकी दुकान पर दो चीजों की गारंटी मिलती है। एक तो ये अपनी दुकान पर जातिवाद का जहर बेचते हैं और दूसरा ये लोग असीमित भ्रष्टाचार करते हैं। आजकल ये लोग बेंगलुरु में जुटे हैं।
All right, let's cut across back to my colleague Polumi Saha. Lots going to go down today, viewers, in terms of just politically as it all pans out. 26 political parties of the opposition already meeting, live visuals coming in from there. Lots of meet and greet. You have Lalu, you have his son, Tejasvi, who is the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar. You have him standing with the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Manoj Jha, our Rajya Sabha MP there. All of that. You have Gurdeep Sapal from the Congress. You have KC Venugopal. All of them. A lot of meet and greet going on right now when all the political parties, 26 of them, come together in Bengaluru, Karnataka. But very soon from now, 38 political parties are going to come together of the NDA as well. Who are those political parties? Interesting to note. Polumi, I want to bring you in, in that conversation. The BJP could have picked any possible date to have this NDA meet. Clearly, this is a face-off of a sorts which is going to take place today, a conclave versus conclave of the NDA, or what was once the UPA.
Absolutely. The BJP, of course, strategically chose this date in order to announce that there will be this NDA meeting. The first time that NDA parties are having a meeting in Modi Sarkar 2.0. So since 2019, the first time that the NDA parties are meeting. This, of course, comes in the year that the NDA is celebrating 25 years of an alliance. The Prime Minister, of course, said, speaking on that occasion, that this is a rare opportunity when, of course, so many parties, an alliance which has withstood the test of time, he said, that has in fact, stayed strong for 25 years and is standing tall even as we speak. So that is, of course, what the Prime Minister said. Little, of course, was, known about that moment, because at that point of time, it came right before, just a few days before, in fact, the government celebrated 9 years of being in power since 2014. There was much, of course, hype and hoopla around that 9 years of government, and the NDA's 25th anniversary just came just a few days before that. But then, of course, today the NDA meets, and this time, of course, will include some existing allies, some new allies as well, which includes, of course, for instance, the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP, Chirag Paswan, Jitan Ram Manjhi, Om Prakash Rajbhar. These are some of the parties which will, in fact, attend that meeting today as well. Of course, there are old allies which are not part of this alliance, and there was a lot of criticism of the BJP because of that, including the Shiromani Akali Dal, the TDP, the JDU, which left this alliance in the last few years, and hence there was a criticism that the BJP was making all of its allies insecure, was flexing its muscles so much that people were leaving the BJP side, and hence today, of course, this is the show of strength by the BJP-led NDA.
Many questions also, Polumi, what comes off with the alliance? Is there a possibility where the Akalis are concerned? What about the JDS? So much being, spoken of that. But the BJP leaders, Polumi, will also have a little bit of, a conundrum trying to explain certain alliances, especially in the graft charges that the Prime Minister has made. Be it, sitting with the likes of Ajit Pawar, with just about 2 weeks ago, a fortnight ago, the Prime Minister spoke of, in terms of the corruption and the NCP, and most of those charges were laid at the doorstep of Mr. Ajit Pawar. Not just Mr. Ajit Pawar on that point, Polumi, the likes of O.P. Rajbhar, highly critical of the Prime Minister, the kind of language that he's used in the past. All of that would be, sharing the dais with the Prime Minister today. So a bit of explaining from the BJP as well.
Opposition is going to charge the NDA and the BJP with saying that, if the Prime Minister calls this a conglomerate of the corrupt, that is the opposition parties, the 26 opposition parties that are meeting in Bengaluru, then the charge against the BJP is that those who have joined hands with the BJP are those who are, of course, trying to save themselves from any sort of action by investigating agencies, because it is the investigating agencies, the opposition alleges, that are used by the central government in order to target opposition leaders, probably scare them into joining hands with the Bharatiya Janata Party, or just go after them if they withstand that pressure. So clearly, that is going to be the opposition's charge against the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP, of course, will say that these are all leaders. If you start looking at the collective cases against all of these leaders who are, in fact, sitting in Bengaluru at the moment, be it Lalu Prasad Yadav, be it Tejasvi, and the charges that he faces, that is, of course, the Yadav family, be it Abhishek Banerjee of the Trinamool Congress, be it, leaders of the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP, including, of course, former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, Nawab Malik, who's still in jail. Various such leaders, when you start looking at that, the Prime Minister says that this is a conglomerate which, in fact, is has committed corruption to the tune of 20 lakh crores, and that is the charge against them, that they're trying to come together in order to save themselves from any sort of action. But action will be taken against them if there is proof, there is evidence of corruption and graft against any of these individuals or parties, then action will follow.
All right, Paulomi, stay on with us. I want to quickly, viewers, open up this conversation. I want to bring in our National Affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, who's joining us from Bangalore. Very interesting, Rahul, in terms of commentary. A look back in the recent political history in terms of commentary by the Prime Minister. One can safely say this has to be, if not the strongest, one of the strongest attacks mounted on a united opposition. Without naming anyone, he practically named all of them individually at that, calling them, of course, a united opposition of the corrupt.
Pretty extremely unexpected lines. If you notice what the BJP's attempt, especially given the fact that the opposition is making, even if you call them strong but very visible attempts to unite, but and that BJP definitely has reasons to worry, primarily because a lot of the players who are part of this conglomerate that BJP calls the conglomerate of corrupt are from regions where the BJP was thinking of either retaining the inroads made in 2019 or perhaps make new inroads. And this coming together could well spell trouble. And also in a state like Uttar Pradesh, if there is any kind of a tactical alliance, the BJP's good tally there can get threatened. And that is why, if you see, there have been three basic attempts. One, to attack them and call them corrupt, dynasts and everything. And second element is project their own alliances in terms of India trying to get its own people together. And the third one, very importantly, is the splits and the damages to the opposition in terms of what happened to the Shiv Sena and the NCP. These are the three broad attempts by the BJP. One interesting element is that on this side, while they are yet to search for a chemistry, the attempts to create a good arithmetic as far as this coalition is concerned seem to be moving slowly, but definitely. The word from inside the meeting is that one, there is likely to be a name to this coming together. It is not going to be an unnamed coming together of leaders or aggregators from various states, but there is going to be a name. Now, interestingly, 4 names were proposed, and Sonia Gandhi had a suggestion that there should be no term India in English in it, it should be something in Hindi. Mamata Banerjee does not want the term front inside in it. So the idea is to create a template of unity in terms of a name. The second is
Rahul, UPA is truly dead now then. If we are coming up with a new terminology, what was once the UPA now, that can be laid to rest, buried. There's no UPA anymore.
Technically, Preeti, if you look, UPA has been dead since 2019. Primarily because a lot of its components did go out, but also it has never met like that because the numbers are so diminished. The idea since 2019 has been to get more and more players together. So if you see the parliamentary force strategy, it was never a UPA meeting as such. It used to have a lot of people from outside the UPA fold.
Right.
And the idea for the Congress was to at least put out a representation number. Yes.
Rahul, would you stay on with us? I'm interrupting you. The reason I'm doing so is we have a lot of political leaders on the phone line with us. Karti Chidambaram and Imran Pratapgarhi, both from the Congress, on the phone line with us. Karti Chidambaram, what do you make? I would reckon this has to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, attacks mounted by the Prime Minister on a united opposition.
This is rather a very disappointing commentary of Indian politics. That if you are with the BJP, you're pure, and if you oppose the BJP, you're somehow termed to be corrupt. And if you are BJP, you're a democratic party, and if you're against the BJP, you're a dynastic political party. I mean, this is a very disappointing political commentary which is being laid out. The NDA has put together a motley crew of political parties which don't have any presence in neither the assembly nor the parliament, and they call that an alliance. and the Congress party and other like-minded parties, including many chief ministers from regional parties, have come together to put together an alliance. The people of India will decide which alliance they want, which alliance they trust, which is the path India should go, whether a secular constitutional path is what we need to go, or do we need to go to a fundamentalist unitary idea of India, of India. Do you want India to be the Hindutva version of Iran, or do you want India to be a constitutional secular country? The people of India will decide. But why cast aspersions on another formation when you yourself are putting together only a motley crew together?
Mr. Chidambaram, appreciate you joining us. Let's quickly get in more political reactions. Mr. Imran Pratapgarhi as well on the phone line with us. Mr. Pratapgarhi, the fact is the Prime Minister's mounted possibly one of the strongest attacks on a united opposition. But having said that, he made one thing very clear. Everything else is a facade. Ultimately, it's a conglomerate of the corrupt.
देखिए फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसा हो रहा है कि अपोजिशन एजेंडा सेट कर रहा है और भाजपा बौखलाई हुई उस पर कमेंट कर रही है या फिर उसी नक्शे कदम पर चल रही है। पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है। पहली विपक्ष की जो मीटिंग हुई पटना में, उसका परिणाम और उसकी बौखलाहट ये रही कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने महाराष्ट्र में सबसे बड़ी तोड़फोड़ की। लूट करके लोकतंत्र को लूट के पहले से सरकार चला रहे थे, उसके बाद फिर उनको एनसीपी को भी तोड़ने की जरूरत पड़ गई। तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर किस मुंह से भ्रष्टाचार पर भाषण देते हैं, जिनके साथ भ्रष्टाचारी नेताओं की एक लंबी फहरिस्त तो हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा से लेकर के सुवेंदु अधिकारी से लेकर के और अब जिनके ऊपर ईडी के केसेस चल रहे थे उनको आपने मिनिस्टर बनाया, डिप्टी सीएम बनाया। तो प्रधानमंत्री किस मुंह से भ्रष्टाचार पर भाषण दे रहे हैं? हम तो सिर्फ 26 पार्टियां अलायंस में हैं अपोजिशन के, एनडीए के अलायंस में तो 38 पार्टीज हैं। अभी कल ही वो लिस्ट जारी हुई है। ऐसे में प्राइम मिनिस्टर की बौखलाहट है ये, उन्हें पता है कि अपोजिशन जिस तरह से यूनाइट हो रहा है 2024 के इलेक्शन में भाजपा को सत्ता से बेदखल होना है, इसीलिए भाजपा इस तरह से बौखलाई हुई है और सीधे प्राइम मिनिस्टर को बोलना पड़ रहा है। प्राइम मिनिस्टर अपोजिशन पार्टीज को भ्रष्टाचारी बता रहे हैं, जिनके मैं तो ये कहूं कि 20,000 करोड़ अडानी के कहां से, कैसे, किस कंपनी के थे, आज तक उसका जवाब प्राइम मिनिस्टर पार्लियामेंट में नहीं दे सके। एक शब्द नहीं बोलते वो। कितने भ्रष्टाचारी दोस्तों को अपना भाई बताते थे वो, मेहुल भाई। तो ऐसे में मुझे नहीं लगता कि उनको बोलने का अधिकार है।
चलिए, इमरान प्रतापगढ़ी जी, बहुत शुक्रिया कि आप हमसे जुड़े। लेट्स कट अक्रॉस बैक टू माय कॉलीग राहुल श्रीवास्तव joining us from Bengaluru. Rahul, that is going to be at least what the defense the opposition will mount, which will tantamount to, look at your very own, you are breaking bread sitting with the likes of Ajit Pawar, OP Rajbhar, who till yesterday used the foulest language for you, who till yesterday you were calling the corrupt. So the Congress will have a counter, or the opposition of course will have a counter to what the Prime Minister has said. But what's interesting, Rahul, and one would like to touch upon it, the sheer fact that the BJP, not unnerved definitely, but looking at the developments very, very closely, because you have all these 26 parties coming together. The BJP could have chosen any other day to have an NDA meet. They've chosen it today. So it's going to be a practical face-off of conclaves, NDA versus whatever the new name is.
Definitely, I will not say that the BJP is not worried. Any political force which is planning to get anywhere close to what they were, say 303, especially because the BJP is a party that, if you consider the north and northwest states, there are 330 seats, out of which NDA's catchment was close to 290 odd seats. BJP alone, out of those 330 seats, managed to get 255. Now, any change as far as the coalition attempts or strategic partnerships by the rivals in these seats especially means that the BJP's tally may get impacted in its best catchment areas.
Right.
Second, if to compensate, the BJP was looking forward to newer avenues, that may get impacted. And that is why the BJP definitely has a sense of worry. And that is why, though Shiv Sena had gone away, NCP has been brought in, the fact is the idea of coalitions and strategic partnerships born out of this fact that these political parties
Rahul Srivastava once again coming in. I just want to cut across to Mr. A. Sarvana from the DMK on the phone line with us. Mr. Sarvana, the fact is today you're being called out by the Prime Minister as a conglomerate of the corrupt. Nothing to do with any common minimum program. Your program is limited to self-gain.
Does the Prime Minister have the moral authority to speak about corruption? Who is Mr. Ajit Pawar, the finance minister of the BJP government in Maharashtra? He's mired in a 70,000 crore scam. Who called him out? Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. What is he doing now? Along with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, becoming a deputy chief minister. And who is Mr. Praful Patel? A 5,000 crore scam. This property has been attached by the Enforcement Directorate, and he is part of the NDA. And in spite of all of this, the Prime Minister has the audacity to speak about the corruption. Here in the state of Tamil Nadu, the ADMK, all the ministers are corrupt. The CBI has filed charge sheet against the ministers. The governor sent by the BJP and the RSS is stalling the sanction, ensuring that the corrupt ADMK ministers are prosecuted. So has the Prime Minister been briefed about all these things? His speechwriters have not told him about all these things. And what is the achievement of the BJP? The only achievement of the BJP is to
Mr. Sarvana, but the fact is also, right, Mr. Sarvana, corruption, of course, the opposition can have a clear counter, which you have elucidated. The Prime Minister also spoke at length of the limitations of your Gathbandhan, where there is quite really nothing that you are building together, but it's limited to Parivarwad or dynasty politics.
That again, I don't know. That's what the speechwriters of the Prime Minister is spinning out stale speeches for the Prime Minister. Are there not any dynasts in the BJP? Chirag Paswan, lot of dynasts. Ajit Pawar, is he a first-time politician? Is he not a dynast? Who is Mr. Jai Shah? Under what capacity he's become the BCCI secretary? How many dynasts we can point out in the BJP? See, every claim by the BJP is followed. The question is this: last 10 years you have ruled the country. What have you done for the people of the country? Are you going to still ask votes in 2024 seeking, what happened in UPA? What have you done? You said UPA is corrupt. How many ministers have been convicted in the last 10 years by the Prime Minister and the BJP?
All right.
None. Zero. Zilch. And what? Well, how can you speak about corruption? It's a joke. It's a big joke that the Prime Minister is speaking about corruption.
Mr. Sarvana, appreciate you joining us. We are going to continue getting our viewers' reactions, especially from the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. But this has to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, attacks mounted by the Prime Minister on a united opposition. We are going to play out some of the excerpts. The opposition clearly angry, but what is going to build to today, viewers, is going to be a face-off of conclaves. At one end, you have, of course, the 26 parties. UPA is dead and buried. They're going to come up with a new name versus the NDA of 38 political parties. What are the contours of those 38 political parties? We're going to continue to get to our viewers as well as what is going down in Bengaluru. A quick break to stay with us. News and updates continue on the other side.
Many more lives? How many more houses? How many more vehicles? How many more villages? And will nightmare drowns the north? India Today reports from every spot.
There are small children who are living in these houses, and this is the national capital we are talking about.
Each and every household, that's what we can see.
The holy shrine that saved Mandi from a disaster.
We report, we demand, we fix accountability. Maximum reporters, maximum coverage. Monsoon mayhem.
Stock of the day clearly on the Nifty at least is Reliance Industries. The shares are up over 4% today. They've hit 52-week high levels. Now this is as a reaction as the company has announced its fixing of the record date for the demerger of the financial services arm. Now as part of the plan, the Reliance Industries shareholders will get 1 share of Jio Financial for every 1 share that they hold of Reliance Industries. I wanted to ask you, what are you making of this Jio Financial Services business? How will it really play out, and what kind of value unlocking can it really lead to for the Reliance Industries shareholders?
So I believe that there will be concentrated approach to the Jio Financial business because it is no more part of the the Reliance entire conglomerate, and being listed separately, I think it will provide another stock in the financial services to the investors at large who have not been holders of Reliance. And that, to my mind, is expected to drive the outperformance of the stock. We expect the stock to do very well and, consolidate gains as it goes ahead.
Right, you did say that the stock is expected to do well. Now remember, the stock is already up about 24% from its lowest level this year. That was hit on March 24th of around 2200 and thereabout, and from that time a 24% surge already. How much more upside do you see on the Reliance Industries stock?
See, look at it this way. We've seen dearth of information coming from the Reliance tables on any corporate action. And with this is the first where Geo Financial Services is being, spawned out into a new baby. We will see multiple new disclosures coming in. So, Reliance Retail is there. The Geo IPO can come in. And, we could also see a lot of news flow on the green energy side. So I believe that the corporate actions will pick up frequency now, and that is expected to keep the stock firm and seek higher levels.
3000, 3100 levels. By when do you see Reliance Industries achieving these kind of levels?
So it could take a little more time than we expect, but difficult to put a finger on that. But I definitely think that it could happen by March itself.
Stevia, an artificial sweetener, is a plant derivative. Why is it being advised against? Is that the question on top of your mind? Well, that certainly is the question that many experts are asking.
Stevia, being derived from a plant, has generally been considered to be safer than the synthetic sweeteners. In fact, some studies show that stevia can help improve glucose tolerance. There are some studies which have shown that stevia can help lower blood sugar as well as blood pressure. So people who are consuming medications for diabetes or hypertension or are on diuretics must consult a professional or a doctor before consuming stevia, and they must also regularly monitor their levels.
It is to be noted that stevia falls in the category of sweeteners advised against by the world body. But monk fruit extracts, which hardly is used in India, does not. Some experts say a blanket advisory was the need of the hour. Others do not agree.
Guideline has very clearly defined what is a non-sugar sweetener, and stevia is a part of it. So we cannot single out stevia. So there, as I said earlier, there are many non-sugar sweeteners. We very commonly used are aspartame and saccharin and now stevia, sucralose, all are part of the guideline. The evidence is studied for all of them. So stevia is equally harmful, I would say.
Some experts say some amount of confusion has been created with the new guidelines from the World Health Organization.
Stevia is a natural plant, right? It tastes like sugar but doesn't spike your glucose or insulin. So it's a safer alternative. As I said, it doesn't absorb in the body. It's secreted unchanged in the urine. So stevia doesn't really affect your body except that it gives you that taste of sugar that you need. But if we were to see stevia versus sugar, stevia will always win.
While some concerns around aspartame and other artificial sweeteners are justified, nutritionists worry it might mislead. Minimizing sugar intake and not using added sugars, getting processed foods out of the house and not putting it in your body but into the bin is what is really needed. In New Delhi with Sneha Modani, Bureau Report, India Today.
Warm welcome, viewers. You're watching our continuous rolling coverage on what is panning to be a super political Tuesday. What a thriller. Why do we say that? It's going to be a clash of the conclaves. 26 political parties meeting where opposition is concerned in Bengaluru. We're going to bring in live visuals from there. And just about 2 or 3 hours from now is going to be the meet of the NDA. The NDA says it has 38 allies. 26 versus 38, all building up to what? 2024. Just to give out figures there, I'm Preeti Chaudhary. These are the headlines. Prime Minister Modi's unsparing attack on opposition, says family first, nation nothing for opposition. Reiterates Prime Minister's 20 lakh crore graft attack on opposition.
दायित्व कुछ है, हाल कुछ है, लेबल कुछ है, माल कुछ है. 24 के लिए 26 होने वाले राजनीतिक दलों पर ये बड़ा फिट बैठता है.
Mega opposition huddle in Bengaluru underway. UPA to make way for a new name for the coalition. NDA counter-strike on united opposition. BJP and 38 allies meet. Prime Minister Modi to attend the big mega NDA meet. Brij Bhushan, WFI chief, to appear in Delhi court today. Testimonies of wrestlers reveal harassment horror. Picture proof against Brij Bhushan also revealed. Tamil Nadu Mantri Pornmuni grilled for over 8 hours at Chennai ED office, summoned again for grilling today at 4 p.m. Congress veteran and former Chief Minister of Kerala, Oommen Chandy, passes away, was undergoing treatment in Bangalore since the last few months. A lot going on, viewers. You just heard the Prime Minister. Let's now get you what's the inside scoop on this mega huddle where the opposition is concerned. 2 likely outcomes expected from the meet. Number 1, UPA to get a new name for coalition. What was UPA 1, 2, 3? Truly dead and gone. Now it'll be a new name coming in for the united opposition. Sources also tell us 4-5 names under consideration. Sonia Gandhi proposed to avoid using India and use a term which is the Hindi reference to India. Sources also say Mamta Banerjee says avoid term front. Panel to create a joint list blueprint. All right, so this is the initial deliberation, and that's the news that we are breaking. Cutting across to Rahul Srivastava from Bengaluru, breaking this news on India Today. Rahul, what was once the UPA truly dead and buried? A new name will be formulated. What could be the contours on which this new name would be based on?
Preeti, I will say that UPA is going to get evolved further, is going to get newer partners, because one thing which is significant when we talk about UPA is that till a few days ago, there was a great amount of aversion, especially among players like Mamta Banerjee, not to come to a state for a meeting of opposition which is ruled by the Congress party. And that has changed. Given the fact that Mamta Banerjee is feeling the heat in Bengal over the manner in which there was violence in the Panchayat elections, Mamata Banerjee definitely wants more allies and people standing around her. In fact, she is one of the motivating factors pushing Arvind Kejriwal and the Congress to come together on the issue of Delhi Ordinance. And that is why I will say that UPA is going to definitely get expanded. Congress definitely is moving into an unstated position of a pivot as far as this opposition unity attempt is concerned. And that is why the idea now is to put a template to what is being called a unity attempt, that united we stand. On every hoarding and poster we see, united we stand is a very strong element. Now that united we stand from a slogan will move to a template and a name. Now in that, there are 3 to 4 versions of it already under discussion. And while people wanted that at least one should be chosen, Sonia Gandhi wanted something to do with Hindi, not India in English. Mamata Banerjee does not like the idea of a front because she always has battled the left front in Bengal. So they are very keen that there should be a simplified term. What we are being told, that since the whole idea is to save democratic values, democracy or democratic something could well be the part. So NDA is National Democratic Alliance. What will these people, this coalition attempt be? One will have to wait and see.
Right.
But the fact is that they are coming together. There is one hiccup. Left parties are still very reluctant about the idea of being seen together in part of a front with Mamata Banerjee. I think one will have to wait and see what they go. The second, importantly, is not a common minimum program, but a common issues to be raised. And those they don't want to raise, say Veer Savarkar or communal issues, I think a discussion on that also is going to be there.
You know, Rahul, very interesting. You said that the left parties would have a problem with standing with Mamata Banerjee. One would have thought it is the other way around. But, the other big question, Rahul, you spoke of possibly Congress moving to be in pivot position on which rests opposition unity. Is that acceptable to the likes of Mamata Banerjee, to the likes of Arvind Kejriwal, especially Mamata Banerjee, who's constantly pushed for equal stakeholdership of this partnership?
I think, Preeti, some bit of political wisdom. I will not say pure wisdom, maybe a mix of political wisdom and political cunning. The issue is that Mamata Banerjee faces a very belligerent BJP in the state. Now, if she is looking for a wider arrangement in which she could definitely, if she's part of a front, and somewhere she has a less aggressive Congress and a left front when it comes to Bengal, that definitely can help her. And maybe part of a coalition, something to do in Tripura and the states where she wants to expand. One fact, remember, Preeti, unlike the NDA, where there is a certain degree of less contradiction, Ajit Pawar bringing in corruption element and others, all right. But I think that there are more contradictions within this coming together. And each individual player in this is also looking for self-gains. And that element is one of the stumbling blocks. And I think the key idea here would be pursue your own agendas, go ahead with what you want to win. Let's try to come together where we can, and let's not attack each other.
All right, as I bring in, I'm going to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai into this conversation. Rahul Srivastava, we are streaming in live visuals coming in from the meeting. Interesting, the seating there. But Rahul, is Mr. Kharge chairing this meeting?
The basic thing is that this meeting is hosted by the Congress party. It is hosted in a Congress-ruled state. The Congress wanted to showcase its new triumph in Karnataka, and they spared no attempt. I think the whole city has been plastered with hoardings and posters almost everywhere. The dinner was hosting by the Congress party, and Mr. Kharge, what I am being told, is going to start the proceedings with an address. And I think from there on, the floor will be open for most of the leaders to speak up, 26 of them, in fact.
All right, 26 of them. 26 versus 38 of the NDA. The 26 still don't have a new name, all building up to another numeric figure, which is 2024. I'm sure you've done the math in your heads. Let's bring in Rajdeep Sardesai, our consulting editor, into this conversation. Rajdeep, just a short while ago, we heard from the Prime Minister. Would you reckon this has to be one of the most unsparring, if not the most belligerent attack when it comes down to a united opposition, not taking the name of any political leader, but right from Lalu to Rahul Gandhi to Sonia Gandhi to Mamta Banerjee to MK Stalin to Arvind Kejriwal, addressing each one of them, calling it a conglomerate of the corrupt.
You know, Preeti, we are in election season. You will recall just a couple of weeks ago, the Prime Minister made a similar stinging attack on the opposition in Bhopal. This was soon after the Patna meeting which had taken place of this anti-BJP alliance which is being forged, this Mahagathbandhan, call it what you will. So it's not as if this is the first time the Prime Minister said it. He's been much more personal in these attacks, you could argue, but I think he has set the general template. What he's suggesting is that the arrangement which has come together in Bengaluru is an alliance of opportunists who are there for self-preservation. They have serious corruption charges against them. They're trying to protect, in a way, parties that in some instances are virtually treated as family-centric parties. And he's trying to contrast that with the alliance which is being forged, or which has been forged in Delhi, which has the BJP clearly as the dominant force, and the others are much smaller parties. So he's trying to contrast the two alliances. However, remember, since Patna, much has changed. Who are two of the principal new faces you will see today in the NDA? Ajit Pawar, someone whom the Prime Minister in that very Bhopal speech had indirectly referred to when he referred to the irrigation and the cooperative bank scam in Maharashtra. Now, of course, Ajit Pawar's faction has switched over to the BJP. The other point that the Prime Minister keeps making is that many of the parties who are in Bengaluru are all driven by dynasty and family politics. Who is the other face that we will see today at the NDA meeting? Chirag Paswan. So look, this is now a battle of alliances being forged out of pure opportunism, and in the case of Bengaluru, you could argue out of sheer survival. In the case of the NDA, the need to respond to some of the challenges being thrown up in specific states by the opposition coming together. For example, an Om Prakash Rajbhar coming back to the BJP fold after having attacked the BJP is a sign that the BJP wants to ensure that UP remains its fortress. Take no chances. I think what you have in Delhi is an alliance which is being forged not so much out of desperation, but out of the BJP's recognition that you cannot be complacent about 2024. The alliance in Bengaluru, at one level at least, is being forged out of a sense of self-preservation and survival by parties who know that they cannot afford to suffer another heavy defeat in 2024. I think what will be the key, Preeti, is when you come to the real nuts and bolts. Seat sharing. Will the left and the TMC and the Congress agree on seat sharing in Bengal? Will the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress agree to seat sharing in Delhi and Punjab? I think these are going to be the real challenges for what we are seeing in Bengaluru. Seat sharing is not really an issue for the Delhi alliance because it is driven by the BJP. The BJP will give 1 or 2 seats to a Chirag Paswan, will give a couple of seats to an Ajit Pawar. They don't really have any major ally who will demand extra from them. And then, Preeti, there is the other factor, the other X factor. Lots of parties are not part of either alliance and they have their own bases. Biju Janata Dal in Odisha, the YSRCP and the TDP in Andhra, the BRS in Telangana, and of course Mayawati. So you've got, I think, 2 alliances being forged. One out of survival and self-preservation in Bengaluru, one out of a recognition that complacency will no longer work. You can't have an ekla chalo re attitude in certain key states. Why, for example, is the BJP now looking to even bring the JDS in its fold? When Amit Shah a couple of months ago said, the JDS should be finished. Because you realize that you need as many incremental votes as possible today in a state like Karnataka, which the BJP did very well in. Why have you broken the NCP? Because you recognize that in Maharashtra you cannot afford to have this strong Mahagathbandhan on the other side. So there is realism and opportunism which is driving these 2 alliances, and then you've got these other parties who are trying to become like Switzerland and stay neutral. It is fascinating at one level. how the politics is, how the political temperature of the country is changing, much like how you've got extreme rainfall in the last few weeks in Delhi, and now you have politics also changing, not as turbulent, but much more slowly.
Well, interesting analogy there, Rajdeep. But as we build up to the clash of the conclaves, Rajdeep, which is, of course, the NDA, and now the UPA gone, a new name will be formed. But having said that, lots of commonality in these alliances as well, Rajdeep. The sheer fact you spoke of Ajit Pawar, diluting the Prime Minister's speech today on his jibe of a conglomerate of the corrupt. You have the likes of Ajit Pawar. When he talks about dynasty politics, when he talks about Parivarwad, and a big chunk of his speech was surrounding that. Your latest poster boy of the NDA, Chirag Paswan, homegrown dynastic politics. On the other hand, you're trying to get in JDS dynastic politics as well as corruption, because there's been enough corruption charges there as well. You're looking at an Akali. What's so different when you come about dynastic politics or corruption there?
Yes and no. Yes, you're absolutely right that, look, when it comes to political opportunism, those whom you called corrupt yesterday are becoming your allies today. Those whom you referred to as dynasts yesterday are being happily welcomed into your party today. So, let's be honest. In that sense, you could argue that there is a relatively level playing field. But however, there is one difference. In Delhi, the alliance which the NDA has crafted is heavily dominated by the BJP. In Bengaluru, while the Congress is slowly becoming the pivot of the alliance, you still have parties like the TMC, the Aam Aadmi Party, the left and the DMK, who will, particularly parties like the TMC, who will demand, at least in their state, primacy. Mamata Banerjee wants the Congress and the left to accept her supremacy in Bengal. Aam Aadmi Party wants the Congress to accept their supremacy in Punjab and possibly in Delhi. Now, that problem is not there with a BJP Modi-centric NDA. It can be called NDA, but it is Mr. Modi-centric. For the last 5-6 years, you've never even had an NDA meeting. In fact, someone was telling me the last NDA meeting was 2014. So you've really never even had an NDA meeting. You're doing this only for optics. Most of these 38 parties actually bring very little to the table. The BJP wants to send out a message that they are more inclusive and thereby hope that some of the floaters like the Janata Dal Secular may be wooed by them. On the other side, I think the alliance is much more, I repeat, about survival. Will the Congress be able to play that role of the pivot? Preeti, is critical. I think one big change between Patna and now is Sonia Gandhi's presence. And Sonia Gandhi's presence suggests that there is a recognition that the Congress has A, that they will have to play a central role, B, that role will have to be of a consensus builder. It cannot be that, Rahul Gandhi, for example, has sent out signals in the past that he is only here to rebuild the Congress. He is not here for alliance building. Sonia Gandhi's presence, to my mind, suggests that there is a section within the Congress that now recognizes that we will have to fight this election by being more flexible, being more pragmatic, and reaching out to many parties right across the spectrum. So I think that's one interesting straw in the wind coming in from Bengaluru, the Congress's attempt to become a more consensual pivot. In Delhi, I think the straw in the wind is, I think the BJP has recognized, while we put all our eggs in the Modi basket, at least let's give the impression that we have a few other eggs also in our basket.
All right. Okay, I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava, because Rahul, what else has changed from Patna to Bengaluru? Of course, the presence of Sonia Gandhi is also the sheer fact that the likes of the TMC and the likes of the Aam Aadmi Party, who were not quite comfortable with attending a joint conclave of sorts in a Congress-ruled state, has submitted to doing so this time. Has that stance changed? Because yes, Rajdeep is bang on when he suggests that at least there's a clear understanding of leadership where it comes down to the BJP. Forget about the big brother, the all-powerful is the BJP, and then you've got the rest. Here, most of them wanted equal stakeholding, a stake where this partnership was concerned. That's shifting now?
With a lot many questions in what you have said. See, one important fact which I want to flag about that discussion you had with Rajdeep, this issues about dynasty and corruption is not a standalone item. It never wins you elections in India. It is a plus. Now, if a leader, it does not depend on arithmetic only, it depends on chemistry. Narendra Modi, if you hurl, it depends on whether you hurl corruption or the charges, like there was Rafale last time around, that the BJP went to elections. But did it hurt the BJP? It did not. In fact, BJP came back with larger numbers, though there was Balakot, there was all that factor. But that means corruption did not stick. The BJP similarly tried dynasty and corruption in Bengal. But did it help the BJP? It did not. It did not, because there was a Mamata Banerjee. So these issues will eventually depend on the chemistry of that coalition. And right now, that's with Narendra Modi, though maybe diminishing. The fact is that he enjoys that position right now. Will it last till 2024? Certainly not. Then the question of this coalition. Definitely, I will say, like I said about aggregators, as far as the NCP, a lot of the players here who are coming into this coalition are aggregators in their own state. They are wanting to expand. And Arvind Kejriwal, for example, has come to this meeting following a nuanced assurance on the Delhi ordinance. But why has he come? He has come primarily because can he get left out at a time when he's being attacked by the BJP? Can Mamata Banerjee be left alone at a time when there is a coming together, which in future can be helpful for the TMC? I think there are a lot of self-interest involved in it. It is not a large coalition, as Rajdeep was saying. There are a lot of people out of the opposition fold. It represents some 170, 180 odd seats. But the fact is that the coming together in these seats, everybody is looking for their own turf and territory. It may ask people, Congress is getting accommodative, it is getting inclusive. It brought in Arvind Kejriwal on the hoardings and posters in the meeting here. But the fact is somewhere that the Congress is also wary of the fact that these players like Trinamool and Aam Aadmi Party in the coming days may end up attacking the Congress Party and may try to eat the Congress pie. All these contradictions are there. I think the idea is first to put an arithmetic in place and then discover the chemistry.
Rahul, and one of those contradictions right now playing out in the next news break that we are just going to go to. And that contradiction that you spoke of is what the Aam Aadmi Party and the TMC feels, echoed by the BRS. Because the BRS is fighting the Congress in Telangana and of course fighting the BJP on a national level, at least ideology-wise is what they suggest. Let's cut into the news break. BRS, at the time when the opposition is meeting, has hit out at the Congress and Rahul Gandhi, stating that that the state cadre has failed to attack the BJP. That is what the BRS says. Rahul must understand the meaning of unity. Congress chairs meets with vested interest. That's the latest coming in. The BRS's attack on the Congress veiled as well in terms of, because the BRS, Rajdeep, is caught in a conundrum. It's a rock in a hard place, but let's listen in to the commentary coming in from the BRS, and we're going to cut across back to Rajdeep to possibly analyze of why the BRS is saying what it is.
Very clearly, we continue to remain against both these national parties, Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress, because today those who have joined the Congress also in that meeting definitely believe that Congress party cannot steer this whole alliance, because if you see that there are, if at all, state polls in Delhi or in West Bengal, again the Congress party will call the Aam Aadmi Party as the team B of the Bharatiya Janata Party. They have called even Mamata Didi as team B of Bharatiya Janata Party. They have done the same with Shiv Sena. Congress thinks that they can steer this opposition unity, but first...
All right, let's cut across now to Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor. Rajdeep, one of the contradictions that Rahul and I were speaking of playing out right now on live television, understandably, it's a conundrum where the BRS is concerned. End of the year, they face off with the Congress in Telangana, ideologically against the BJP. Can't go with the BJP because it's advantage Congress in the state. Can't go with the BJP because ultimately the BJP could take over the state in terms of politics. But do you see this at some level extending an olive branch to this opposition unity somewhere down the line, suggesting that the Congress also needs to rethink its stand when it comes down to state-wise politics, especially giving examples of West Bengal, Punjab, Delhi and Telangana?
Look, I think K. Chandrasekhar Rao is one of those mercurial politicians who you never know what he will do next. This is someone who was fancying himself as the leader of a third front, of a federal front, only 6-9 months ago. Was visiting the likes of Nitish Kumar, Mamta Banerjee, talking of creating a non-Congress, non-BJP front. I think KCR at the moment, eyes are firmly focused on winning Telangana. And if he wins Telangana, which will go to the polls in December, then he will weigh his options. Then he will believe that he is in a position to bargain possibly with a Congress-led alliance, because at this stage, he can't afford to do so. At this stage, KCR has two problems. Look, the ED is at his door. They have been questioning his daughter in the Delhi liquor scam. They have been questioning several of his MLAs. He also knows that the Congress is a little resurgent in Telangana after their victory in Karnataka. So he knows that the Congress at the moment is his prime opponent in Telangana. At the same time, he is aware that he cannot afford to give too much space to the BJP. So KCR is someone who's trying to navigate a very delicate line between the Congress and the BJP till December. After December, depending on how the political scenario unfolds, he will take his will make his decisions.
For the BRS, for KCR, who is the bigger evil politically, the Congress or the BJP?
For the next 5 months, it's the Congress. KCR is very clear. To win Telangana, he has to defeat the Congress as his main opponent. After December, then he opens up his options. Similarly, the Jagan Reddy and Chandrababu Naidu main target is the assembly polls next year. Once whoever wins those polls will then negotiate with Delhi depending on who is in power. Those 40 odd seats, 42 I think from Andhra Pradesh, or old Andhra, that's Andhra plus Telangana, 17 in Telangana, 25 in Andhra, will be decided. Whoever wins those will make their post-poll deals. You see, you have all these players, the likes of Naveen Patnaik, 25 seats in Odisha. Now he's someone who, as I maintain, is like Switzerland. He's the Switzerland of India politics. He's playing a strongly neutral role, on trying to emerge neutral, but will negotiate with whoever comes to power.
But when it comes down to treaties, Rajdeep, when it comes down to the Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, he does swing towards the BJP. So it's not really as neutral as one would...
Because they...
Yes.
No, Preeti, that's because at the moment the BJP is in power in Delhi. Tomorrow you put the Congress in power in Delhi, Naveen Patnaik will fall in line. He has an Odisha first strategy. Similarly, you've got Jagan Mohan Reddy, who certainly has been dealing with the BJP for the last 5 years, but knows that if governments were to change in Delhi, he will blow with the wind. So you've got about, what are they, in about 100 seats across the country. That's Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, these two states, about 80 seats. You have these players who will look for post-poll deals. So you've got the post-poll deal players, you've got the pre-poll deal players. Now you've got someone like JDS. What does JDS do in Karnataka? They've just been demolished in a state election. They want to maintain their relevance. How do they maintain their relevance? Possibly if they tie up with the BJP, they are able to corner the Congress and then hope to fight another day in 5 years from now. You know, all these political parties are all looking at self-interest. There is no ideology. So, kuch bhi ho sakta hai. What is said today can be changed tomorrow. The things Arvind Kejriwal said about Sonia Gandhi and the Congress in the past, and now look at him, he's supping with the same Congress.
Or what the Congress said about Mr. Kejriwal just about a month ago. But you know what would be interesting, and we're going to do it. We're going to put out the map of India, especially at the end of this meet, where 38 versus 26, building up to 24. What does it look like in terms of arithmetic and the math of it? For now, Rajdeep Sardesai, Rahul Srivastav, appreciate you joining us. We're going to cut across to Rajdeep's interview of Chirag Paswan, who's joined now the NDA. He'd be sitting with the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah at the meeting of the NDA beginning just about 3 hours from now. That interview, exclusive, coming up next.
Diet sodas, sugar-free tablets, artificial sweeteners. Do all of these give you a sense of assurance that you are staying away from sugar and that these are healthy alternatives? Well, it is not that simplistic as you think it is. Each of these artificial sources of sugar are unhealthy. Let us break this down for you. Diet soda is a go-to for people who love the taste of regular soda but can do without the sugar and calories. An average can of regular cola may contain a whopping 37 grams of sugar, and consuming too much sugar is linked to outcomes like obesity and poor heart health. So it makes sense that you may seek out a sugar-free alternative. But while drinking diet soda does help people reduce their sugar intake, this simple act can also expose a person to other ingredients that may be linked to some other health problems. The acidity in certain types of soda can lead to tooth erosion. Drinking excessive amounts of diet soda made with caramel coloring may result in teeth turning yellow. Some research suggests that artificially sweetened drinks are associated with a greater risk of obesity. If you opt for diet soda that contains caffeine, you may have trouble getting some much-needed shut-eye at night. Diet soda is void of calories and sugar. Certain varieties can contain phosphorus in the form of phosphoric acid. This mineral, though important, can play a positive role in bone health, but consuming copious amounts of phosphorus can negatively impact the calcium-phosphorus ratio in your body.
When the sugar increases in the blood, that means when the blood glucose increases, then it leads to many comorbidities like obesity, diabetes, fatty liver, then risk of cancer, heart attack also increases. There are mood alteration leading to irritability, then there's sleep disorder, and many more things can happen.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News.
All right, the latest news break coming in. Exclusive details of Congress chief speech in the meet. Kharge has opened the conclave today, saying Congress not interested in Prime Minister post Congress chief. Kharge says BJP cheated NDA allies, also adding agencies misused against opposition, MLAs lured through blackmail and bribery. I would reckon, viewers, if you go into the initial reports that are coming in of the speech made by President Kharge, one needs to underline the fact that Mallikarjun Kharge has opened the meeting or the conclave of the opposition by saying Congress not interested in Prime Minister's post, at least laying to rest the fact that everyone is an equal shareholder who leads this, of course, the Congress possibly becoming the pivot of it, but who leads this in terms of the Prime Minister's post if at all the alliance gets the numbers it intends to get, means that the Congress is really not interested in the Prime Minister's post. Something that has been said by the Congress president, indicating that would be left off for later on what the united opposition decides. I want to cut across to my colleague Moshmi, who's joining us on the phone line. Moshmi, very interesting with what Mr. Kharge has said, of course, speaking about the alleged misuse of agencies by the opposition, MLAs lured through blackmail and bribery in terms of horse trading. But I would reckon, Moshmi, one of the most key things that Mr. Kharge has said, which he opened his speech with, was Congress not interested in the Prime Minister's post, if at all this united opposition gets the numbers it hopes to get.
Right, Preeti, you've got that absolutely correct, because it's another thing to say it on the occasion of M.K. Stalin's birthday months ago, but it's another thing if you say it in that vein and even go further on to say that we are not interested in, gaining power and the PM's post in a meeting, second-tier meeting of the opposition. So, Kharge there, as I said, the Congress is ready to reach out to the smaller allies, is ready to do anything to stitch this coalition on a very strong footing. And the best it could actually do is send in a message that we are not trying to play big brother or bully the smaller partners into an alliance where we shall lead and we shall have the PM candidate. So clearly, boosting, in fact, the confidence of its allies and saying that we are well-intentioned, and that is the catch, because the BJP, Preeti, has been underlining that who is the doula of this Bharat that's taken off, and yet again, giving it back to the BJP, saying we are not power hungry. But the bigger question really is it just about the meeting? Because at the end of the day, when they travel that far and then 2024 elections are close on the heels, this question will be pervading and overshadowing all their agitations and fight against the BJP, because you have a big leader like Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the other side.
Well, interesting, Moshmi. We're going to keep coming back to you. So that's the big ticket news break, viewers, because interesting to note. You have Mr. Kharge there opening the opposition meet with one statement: Congress not interested to be the Prime Minister when and if the numbers are attained by a united opposition, leaving the floor open for discussion there, especially with political parties that have been uncomfortable with Congress taking the lead. So possibly Congress might come to be the pivot on which rests opposition unity. But having said that, making it very clear, not interested in being the Prime Minister. There is a clear difference there. Not interested in being the Prime Minister at one end is different from leading the united opposition, which really now it seems Congress is doing. With that, a quick break. To stay with us. On the other side, we have, all right, no break. We're going to cut across directly to an exclusive interview with Chirag Paswan. First reaction of Chirag Paswan on joining the NDA with Rajdeep Sardesai.
Joining me now is our newsmaker of the day, Lok Janshakti Party leader Chirag Paswan joins me. He's just back with the NDA. Chirag, just 15 months ago, you were at war with the NDA when you were evicted from your late father Ram Vilas Paswan's house. Now you are coming back to the NDA. What has suddenly changed?
Well, to begin with, Rajdeep ji, let me begin by saying this, that I feel so nostalgic and I feel so emotional today talking to you, because I remember my last interview with my father together was with you only. And so yes, I mean, this makes me a little emotional remembering those things. But coming back to your question, well, I wasn't really at war with BJP. I mean, even when my house was, when it was evicted, I was to do that because I wasn't really authorized to continue staying in that house because I wasn't really eligible. But then, yes, the way I was thrown out of the house, that was one of the concerns. But my fight is not for my it's not for me individually, you know. I have bigger goals. It's more for my party, it's more for my state. So yes, I mean, alliances are made on that basis, not keeping your personal benefits in mind. It's always for the benefit of the party, benefit of the state, and more importantly, your ideology that you believe in. So yes, I mean, coming back in an India alliance is keeping all those things in mind.
But who needs whom more? Do you need the BJP or does the BJP need you? Because for the last couple of years, the BJP has supported your father's brother and made him even a union minister while you were cast aside because of your war with Nitish Kumar. Now Nitish Kumar joins the opposition and you are back in the NDA. So who needs whom more? Do you need the NDA or the BJP, or does the BJP need you now before 2024?
I think in an alliance, everyone complements each other, and that's why the alliance is made. So I think it's not the question of who needs who more. It's about together how strong we can make this alliance, and that's exactly what we are working towards.
But is there some deal? We are told that you have asked for 1 Rajya Sabha, 6 Lok Sabha seats, and you will be made a minister. Have you struck some kind of a deal with the BJP? Was there any bargaining that you had to do with Amit Shah before you have come back into the NDA fold? And have you asked for your uncle to be removed from the cabinet?
Well, about the ministership, definitely it's not a matter of concern for me at all. And when it comes to my uncle also, whether he stays in the alliance, whether he is not in the alliance, it really doesn't matter, Rajdeepji, because it's been over 2 years now, you know, and I'm way past all these things. You know, it doesn't really matter what is he doing and, you know, whether he's the part of the alliance or he continues to be the minister or not. But then definitely, yes, me and my party, we had our concerns, and which we wanted to have a clarity on before we officially say yes to the alliance. And we discussed all these concerns with the senior leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party, and yes, I mean, it was well appreciated, and is the reason why we are in India now.
But you know, people will say that this is opportunism on all sides. BJP attacks the opposition saying that the opposition is Parivarvad. Your coming back to the NDA, people will say, is also Parivarvad. So it all seems to me that because of 2024 Lok Sabha, sab kuch chalega. Anyone now will go wherever they can see opportunity. The BJP attacked the opposition for Parivarvad, and you are back in the BJP.
I think not anymore, Rajdeepji. Now you cannot call me an outcome of Parivarvad. I mean, I'll not shy away from the fact, Vanshvad, definitely, aap wo mujh pe